Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, as you can tell, I'm rocking the green. Rocking the green. But yes, hope everyone's having a good Sunday, had a good weekend. Good St. Patty's Day, of course. Yes, happy St. Patty's Day. But, guys, hold up. Now I'm good to go. Lots to talk about tonight. It was a big week. But before we get into all the fun stuff and bring in the returning guest, yes, fun facts though about this guest. I'll share some fun facts once he's on stream with me. But he's been away from YouTube for a little bit of time, man. He's taking a little step back, but the guy's been grinding, and we'll talk about that because, yeah, if you're following him on Instagram, you haven't seen much. But on a personal side, I know he's been showing me some of his latest pickups, and man, this guy's on fire. But anyways, we'll talk about all that in just a second. But guys, if you caught the last New Comic Book Day video, um, I told you guys I'd be doing a giveaway on this episode. So if you commented on the video, well, you've earned your way into the giveaway. So I just want to show you guys because this thing has been spinning, I swear to God, since about like 2 p.m. today. So this is going to take place at some point within the show. It's not happening right now. But as you can see, lots of names on this one. And what I'm going to be giving away, well, I've put together a bundle of New Comic Book Day stuff because, yes, it was a New Comic Book Day video. So some key books, some of the big books that have dropped within the recent weeks. So good luck to everybody. I hope St. Patty's Day brings you some luck. And like I said, at some point today within the show. So keep an eye out, stick around. It'll happen at any given moment. All right, enough sharing this one. I want to also mention New Comic Book Day. We were talking the videos. Well, New Comic Book Day selections for March 20th are going to be dropping probably Tuesday morning. It's looking like the Tuesday morning drop is the slot. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, myself and Left Arrows collaborating to bring you guys some of the New Comic Book Day selections of the week. So stick around for that one this week. Now, okay, let's get into the guest. The guest tonight is a very special one because, of course, he's the reason I'm doing any of this. And I say this every time I see him. So, without further ado, my brother from the Kingpins to here and to many other channels, which we'll get into. But, guys, Hyper Combo Comics is back, baby.
What is up, Black Crown? What is up, chat? It's been a while. Listen, um, there's no other place I want to do this return than on your channel. So honestly, man, it's been long overdue, and happy to be here, and happy on your success on your channel. Congrats on the 500. I already wished you, previously, but on live in person, man.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before you hit that milestone, and then above and beyond, it's gonna here on out.
Dude, call me crazy, but it was funny because, and yes, I hit 500 subscribers, so thank you all for subscribing. Again, I don't do it for any of that stuff, but I did notice, 500 subscribers. I was at 504. 504. I had 100 videos, and I was like, man, I see a 5, I see a 1, I see a 4, so I'm going to have a 514 boy on the show, and it's you. So there you go, Montreal represent.
Wait,
Um,
but can we just pause for a second? I just want to address a hater in the chat right now.
sure.
Can we address a hater in the chat?
Which one? Is it this guy right here?
Newbie Comics. You haven't been on YouTube either, so I don't know. I don't know what all the static is about, but yeah.
That wrecked. But one thing I do want to say is, guys, Hyper is a man of his word because no lies, when he announced that he was going to be taking a step back away from YouTube, he messaged me and we talk every day. We talk literally every day. We roast each other every day. And he told me when in a non-roasting manner, yes, we didn't roast each other. We had a bromance. One short moment where he said, guys, I'm taking a step back, but BC, when I make my return, it's going to be on your channel. And here he is, owned up to it. So I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. It's we'll get into it post, like near the end, like about like why I did what I did, but yeah, it was a case where I just needed some time to step back, and yeah, man, look, your channel, like, you're right, you were the channel that I wanted to basically step back into when I got back on social media, so to speak.
I appreciate that, man. Now, like I just said before I even brought you on, yes, you took time away. Now we text each other, we message each other every day. You've been busy, bro. You've been busy. You picked up some sick collection recently.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I was gonna wait till the end, but I'm actually gonna put you on the spot.
Do it.
So, now that I'm back on the social media circuit again, you know, I do have a YouTube channel that got to dust off and kind of get some content out there again. So, as you alluded to, I just picked up a collection about 2 weeks ago. So I'm thinking that I should probably do a little bit of an unveiling of what's in the collection to the audience on YouTube. And you know what? I can't do it solo. I need a co-host to kind of do it with me.
You tell me when. You tell me when, and I'm there, bro. It's as simple as that. We'll say it live on stream, man.
So
Hold
there
me
you
to it.
have it. BC co-hosting with Hypercombo Comics on a future. I don't know if it's going to be live or if we're going to do pre-record. That I'll figure out.
There you go. Well, I'm excited, guys. So, of course, go subscribe to Hyper Combo Comics, his YouTube channel. He's back. He's gonna be dropping some cool content every now and then. And of course, as you said, hey, you want to do this together? I'm in 1,000%. So let's do this. All right, bro. We're going to talk FOC. We're going to talk market reports. We're going to talk hot topics. And of course, we have a giveaway at some point within the show. So, guys, keep an eye out. It could happen at any point. But of course, before we get to any of that fun stuff, I want to shout out Michael Baker because he's not first. No, it's love for comics, baby. Baker slacking. We
Is
need
he
to.
sick? Is Baker sick today?
Everybody roast him in the chat. No, he actually messaged me on the side, guys, and he told me he's like, my wife is asking me to go join a party tonight, so I unfortunately can't be there in the
Ah,
chat.
okay, yeah,
No, but he said he's gonna pop in at some point, definitely to show some love, and he's beyond ecstatic to see you here. But enough about Michael Baker because we got Baker Shakers as well tonight.
yeah.
But love for comics is here, and that's what's important. First in the door, baby. Now for the prize, your name is on that wheel. Let's see, it just might happen. You never know. But moving on, we've got this beautiful little man right here. Newbie Comics, yes. Emphasis on the little. No, I'm just kidding. But Newbie Comics is in the house, man. Had him just on the show. And honestly, it's not even done intentionally. All the boys are lining up within the last couple weeks. I had you, I had him, I had Paperweight. So there was even Comic Chic. So I'm appreciating all of you guys swinging by. Of course, Newbie Comics. I don't know if you guys are following him on Instagram. Bro, remember that Connor Bedard card I was talking to you guys about last week? That particular card sold for $24,000. Now, Newbie ain't that
Jeez,
lucky. He ain't that
wow,
lucky, but he did pull two Connor Bedard cards worth. I think he sold one at like $800. The next
damn.
one, if he gets a PSA 10, is like $3,000. So shout out to Newbie for
Think of all
killing
the
it.
Simpsons comics he's gonna buy from that.
He's gonna buy the whole run
Yeah.
18 times. But all right, man. Enough about Newbie because Uni's in the house, man. Uni coming to show some love, some support. You saw his comment on the post. If you didn't, he was nothing but ecstatic to see you back, man. So
One of the
appreciate you, Uni.
OGs. Yeah, I've been a bit absent on IG, but I will be back on Instagram as well. But Uni, always a supporter of the channel. So yeah, definitely
Yep.
appreciate it.
100%, man. Uni's one of the boys, and of course, so is Derek, man. Derek Nyman's coming to hang out tonight. His name's up on the wheel as well. So, Derek, appreciates you. Who else we got here? We got Gregory in the house. Yes, Gregory actually won the last giveaway, and his name's on the wheel again. So,
Mm,
let's see if lightning strikes twice, man. You never know. You know this guy. You know this guy,
I
Pacino
wish I
Comics
didn't.
or Pacino collects now, right? Everybody's a collector now. No more a comic guy. I'm just kidding.
No, he's definitely a bro.
Yeah, he
Pacino
is, man.
collects.
Appreciate you, bro. Baby number two is on the way any minute now, so shout out to him. But Steph's Comics, Steph, yes, cause of the rock and roll, big time Steph. Call me after the show. I have a lot to talk to you about when it comes to New Comic Book Day. And guys, all of you within Canada, yes, we talk Comic Nation, but Comic Legion, get familiar because they are going to be here in Canada, are open actively right now, but we'll get into some of that. Steph, hit me up. All right, who else we got here? We got Brian LCS. Now, dude, you know exactly who Brian is, right? Comic Book Community Awards. He
Yep.
just made his announcement not too long ago that that's going to be kicking off very soon. So, guys, head on over to the channel. There's nominations, everything. You vote for who you want within certain categories. All that's going to be taking place throughout 2024. Now, very shortly, we're going to be getting some of that going. So, Brian, feel free to share some of that info here in the chat. But yes, ecstatic to see this take place. All right, who else we got here? We got Yo, there he is. We were just talking about paperweight. Dude, he posted on his personal IG. I felt like an idiot, man. He
What do you say?
posted happy one sun turn around the earth or whatever you know what that saying is. It was his wife's birthday, and here I am.
Oh, okay, okay, I got it.
I'm wishing the guy a happy anniversary, man. So no, screw you, paperweight. It's all love to your wife, not to you, bro. So that's
Yeah,
where we end.
I gotta give a shout out to Paperweights. I actually, even though I've been off of social media, I still keep tabs on certain channels, and I do listen to the Comic Con podcast. Dude,
Yeah,
I'm proud of this dude. He's really putting himself out there, and he basically actually encourages me to find my first love of the hobby, because the way he asks, like, you can tell that he has genuine curiosity for the hobby,
of
and I
course, man.
appreciate that about him. So
Yep.
definitely a dude that you want to be keeping an eye on.
Of course, bro. Somebody I talk to literally almost daily as well, man. One of the nicest guys you could ever talk to. Although he looks mean, because he's a wrestler, right? The guy could probably suplex us through 10 tables. Nicest guy, biggest heart. So
Yeah.
definitely show some love to paperweight. Now, this guy over here is the complete opposite. Lefteros Thomas. No, I'm just kidding. Lefteros, bro. Nothing but love. Appreciate you coming to hang out tonight. Of course, we're gonna go through some of your FOC picks in just a minute, but
One of the most knowledgeable guys in the hobby. Definitely, you have to follow him.
yeah, without dude, hands down, man. And he puts in. If anybody's putting in the work, guys, I know exactly how much work this guy puts in. I don't even know how he stays awake. The guy is on zero sleep. But shout out to Lefteros, and of course, shout out to Sam Al, man. Yes, another man who's got his name on the wheel for tonight's
From
giveaway.
our group. He's also
Yep,
from our group, right? Yeah.
exactly. Big supporter, so appreciate you, Sam. And same goes for JF, man. JF always coming to support. JF's also part of our chat, so appreciate you being here, JF.
Yeah, man. Another good dude.
Absolutely, man. TKO Collectibles is in the house. TKO, man, thank you so much for coming to hang out with myself and Hyper. Yes, Hyper Combo Comics gonna drop some knowledge on us when we get to the market. FOC, we'll see how he does. I'm gonna ask you. You know which question I'm gonna ask you right before we
Yeah,
get
you'll be surprised by my answer, or
there.
maybe not.
BC only 800% into my channel. He said 1,000. That's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. But all right, there you go, bro. Oh, Boo Baker's wife. Yeah, 100%. Um, Phil's Treehouse is in the house, man. Phil's doing some great things. I don't know if you caught him over on Spine Ticks last night.
I
Great
did.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was such a good time, man. And they dude, they were all pulling amazing Spider-Man books out from their recent pickups. I was like, yo, you guys, you're catering to the crowd here today. That's what's
Exactly.
going on. So good show, man. But Phil, always appreciate your support. And of course, Nick is in the house. Nick, I missed this call. I didn't screen it, I promise, but I
One of the
missed
biggest Cody Rhodes fans that we know.
the ultimate Cody Rhodes fan. I could tell you right now, he came in with a big whoa coming to watch this show. But Ghost Junk is in the house. Ghost Junk, I caught your comment right before the show, so I made sure to add your name to the wheel. Stick around because, yes, we're going to be giving away very shortly. Gear Up, one of the best pressers, cleaners in the game. It doesn't get better. So, guys, subscribe to the channel, get familiar because Comic Book Corner definitely doing some crazy, crazy
I
work
actually
when it
met up
comes.
with Europe yesterday. Yeah, always. It's always nice chatting with him whenever I get a chance to drop off books at his place.
Yep, exactly, man. Now, Hyper, you're from more or less the same area I am, and we know these guys right here, La Boîte à BD.
One of the
Nothing
few
but
good
love.
in the city.
Yep, exactly, man. Appreciate to these guys. I always enjoy going to check out the shop. I
Yeah.
didn't make it this week because my kid unfortunately was sick,
Oh,
but
damn.
yeah, dude, it was a rough week, man. It was a rough week,
A
but
lot of
Boîte à
people are
BD.
getting sick, I noticed, though, lately.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's daycares. It's a shitstorm. Whatever
Yeah,
is
yeah.
going on in those places, I don't know what. Anyways, these kids carry
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
That sucks.
Yeah, but appreciate what that BD, and of course Ben's in the house. Yes, man, Ben, wheeling and dealing. This guy, man, Ben is such an awesome dude, man. Always picking up some of those crazy books that we see within the marketplace. So
I dropped some of his books off actually at Armin's yesterday. He had a big stack that I that I gave.
yeah, Chia Pets. I only get invited to guest on show when it's pre-recorded because I hog the mic. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. I didn't cut or edit the video. I just let you rant and posted it as is. So no, I'm just kidding. It's not unfortunate. It was a great show. But anytime you want to hop on live, you're more than welcome. And of course, back to Brian's the Comic Book Community Awards, June 15th. So spread the word. That's right, guys. June 15th. That's when it's all taking place. And before we wrap up the shout outs, we've got Kevin in the house. So, Kevin, thank you for coming to hang out with myself and Hyper. And Poogs. Yeah, Poogs is on the wheel as well. So, Poogs commented within the new comic book day video. So, we'll be doing the giveaway shortly. All right. Before we do any fun stuff, giving away some books, we got to talk some FOC.
Oh boy.
Some of those books, yeah, that are on FOC right now, I think it's a pretty heavy week. So, I got to ask you, are you ready?
No.
Well, too bad.
No, I'm not.
Buckle up, honey bun, because it's FOC Selections Week of March 18th. Now, guys, don't forget, go visit comicnation.us to get yourself your FOC orders in with an already discounted price. You get 15% off, and you can get an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. Total discount 20% off of the cover price. So, let's get into the first book. These books selected by none
Wait,
other
BC,
than.
BC. I got, because there might be some new people in the chat, so I gotta qualify this portion of the show. I barely buy new book day issues, so that's why
Don't worry.
when my opinion comes into play, take it with a not just a grain of salt, like a spoonful of salt. But all right,
Yeah. Or a spoonful of cinnamon.
yeah.
So let's get into it. So first one is actually Action Comics 1064. That's right. So this House of Brainiac stuff, if you're reading and keeping up with all this fun stuff, this is part one of the House of Brainiac. Now, this is going to be the DC Comics event. I know a lot of people are hyped about this, keeping an eye out also on those Superman books that are coming out. So that being said, Leftero's giving us that heads up. This is one to definitely pick up. Now, I know you're into DC. I know you also don't really read some of the more recent stuff, but is this your hopping on point?
I'll be honest, like even though I do have some Superman books in my collection, I'm not like the biggest Superman like fan, so to speak. So I don't know if there's like it would probably have to take a superstar art and like a writer for me to actually hop on a Superman title at this point. So Joshua Williamson's decent. Like I know he did a pretty good Flash run in the on the Rebirth
Yep.
days and all that. So but I don't know. I mean, I do hear though that Action Comics and Superman have been great as of late from other people's opinions. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of my take on Superman in general.
A lot of the anticipation here is mostly for Brainiac Queen. So a lot of people want to see this character in full. So I know that's one of the main reasons. Now, House of Brainiac, of course, is going to give us that. So we shall see, but definitely one you want to pick up. Now, since we're on the DC train, guys, yes, Free Comic Book Day 2024, Absolute Power Special Edition number 1. This is the prelude to DC Comics' Absolute Power crossover event. Now, yes, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell? Can I really FOC or pre-order Free Comic Book Day books? Well, yeah, some places allow you to do that. Your shops right now are going to be ordering these up. So you might want to be able to, take a moment, hit them up, be like, hey, can you set me aside a copy or two? Now,
Mm,
guys, I know it's Free Comic Book Day. Some shops will limit you to a certain amount of free books, right?
yeah.
If you hit them up and ask for 20 copies, they might not want to be giving you 20. But, if they charge you that dollar more for after a certain amount, I think that's fair because especially when we're getting such banger covers. Look at this
Oh
one.
shoot. Okay.
Yeah, Dan Mora. Absolutely cool cover. Now, I
Oh
find it interesting how Superman's falling, right? What's
yeah.
going on here? What's going on here? So, yeah.
That's it reminds me of I don't know if you saw that meme where they're trying to save that lady that's in a boat and Superman's basically they're doing like this tug of war, not a tug of war thing, and Superman's like at the end of the thing and he could easily I don't know if people
Yeah,
know that cartoon that I'm talking about, but
fly away with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wait, is this it's a foil variant, so is this like a ratio FCBD variant? Like how
No,
does this work?
from what I saw on FOC, it was a 9.99 book. So I'm not too sure if this is going to be a ratio or if you're actually going to have to buy
Oh,
it at
okay.
9.99, but whatever it may be. I would assume probably it's going to be one of those situations, kind of like we've seen in the past, right? Remember that Batman, Free Comic Book Day Batman? It was a ratio. I don't think this
Yeah,
was a
it was like a
ratio.
one in what is it? 1 in 500. You're talking about that
Yeah, it was the one. Yeah, I think it was 1 in 100.
Yeah, 1 in 100. Yeah, it was a pretty high ratio, but then again, the buy-in for a free comic book issue was like 25 cents for the
Yeah,
retailer.
no. See, what
Okay,
they're saying
it's
it's
not
not
a
a
ratio.
ratio.
All right.
I saw it at 9.99 on FOC, so there you go.
Okay.
Looking forward to that Superman. Hey fellas, yes, Cliff's in the house. Guys, Cliff is going to be a guest on the show next week. So keep an eye out for Cliff. There's a lot of fun stuff coming ahead, man. It's gonna be a great time. I'm
Nice.
gonna be hopping on his channel. So we'll touch base on that later on in the show. But Jason Carvalho is here. So yes, Paperweight saying some more DC talk these days. Yes, you've opened the floodgates, my brother. That's exactly what happened. But all right, back to some more DC. Batman and Robin issue 8. Now, yes, I really like the cover to the left. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty neat. But Jim Lee, bro, you just can't not pick up that Jim Lee cover. Look at that, man. Batman Who Laughs, absolutely sick. What?
It,
Go ahead.
is he back in the storyline, Batman Who Laughs?
So I've not been reading Batman and Robin, but I do want to pick it up because of the cover on the right. I really want the Jim Lee cover. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's straight cover grab for myself. So I feel like I'm missing out on something here. I don't think he's within the story. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, some
It's just
cool.
it's just funny they're calling it the artist spotlight. Jim Lee's been in the industry for like several decades. Well, what spotlight does he need at this point? It's
Give
Jim
him the
Lee.
spotlight. It's Jim Lee, bro.
Yeah,
He owns the spotlight. That's
it's like
exactly what's going
usually
on
when
here.
they say artist spotlight, I figured it's gonna be for like an up and coming artist or someone on the rise, but
Yeah,
whatever.
Chia's saying it's been really good. I feel like I'm missing out, man. Yes, Lee got his mojo back. I agree, dude. Especially the cover that was available last week for the one on the horse was actually really nice. But
Mhm.
let's move on because we have a lot of books to talk about, especially when it comes to Avengers Twilight #5. This is the Alex Ross cover, first cover appearance of the new Hawkeye, now likely first full appearance of Red Skull armor. If you're wondering what that is, guys, read the last issue because a lot of stuff took place. Can't stress it enough. Avengers Twilight has been by far one of my favorite reads. Now, looking at this, oops, sorry. We have issue 5, but I just want to highlight this issue 4. It was literally, no, sorry, this is still issue 5. This is the Daniel Acuna cover.
Mm.
New Hawkeye cover depiction by Daniel Acuna. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And moving on, the 1 in 100 incentive. Hawkeye Virgin, dude. Now we've seen a couple of covers like this. We got literally every issue with this exact cover, right? There was even one with Kamala Khan, which I was like, what? Right?
It, is this depicting? Is this homaging Dark Knight Returns?
100%, dude. It has to
Okay,
be because
yeah.
it's way too good. It's way too good. It's
Hmm.
spot on that cover. So yeah, man, it's just so neat. But regardless of the fact, the read has been absolutely incredible. Avengers Twilight, highly recommend. Hype. I know you're not reading, but I recommend it to anybody who has been slacking. Definitely pick it up.
No. I mean, that is one of those miniseries that like I've been hearing unanimous praise on. I'm probably gonna. It's a 6 issue mini, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I thought it would be an ongoing, but I'm sad to see that it's not going to go further than that. Paperweight, it's in the mail, my friend. So
Yeah.
expect it
So
soon.
honestly, I'm probably just gonna. There's only one more issue left. I'm honestly probably just gonna trade weight and just probably read all 6 issues in one go at this point.
Yep. I'm happy to see lots of people talking positives here about Twilight, but let's move on from Twilight because this one, guys, if Michael Baker was here, he would have passed out because Rat City #1, cover A, first appearance of Peter Cairn, a
Uh,
spawn of the future.
oh,
So, yeah, this is pretty cool. We're gonna get a futuristic spawn. Now, I FOC'd this. I picked one up because, yeah, I want to read about this, man. This seems real cool. So I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, I haven't really been on that Spawn train like I know like Keys and Baker are. There's just so many damn titles out there of Spawn lately. So I'm gonna have to wait to hear your opinion once you actually pick it up and actually read the issue.
Yeah, I'll give you an honest opinion. I won't be Michael Baker, I promise. But let's move on from Rat City because yes, it looks awesome. But we've got Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #2. Now I really enjoyed issue #1. Here we've got the main cover, first cover appearance of the Hood with the Spirit of Vengeance. This is a badass cover. Yo, guys, I'm a variant guy. I love variant books. I
Mhm.
love picking up those cool covers. But this cover A, yo, it's smoking literally. I didn't mean to pun you, but yeah.
No, it's dope. Like I don't know. There seems to be a new Ghost Rider lately every 2 years. It seems like how many Ghost Rider mantles are we gonna get? So is this also mini or is this an ongoing as well?
No, I think this is gonna be a mini as well, man. And from what
Okay,
I've seen, there's no talks of it going further than I think a
okay,
couple issues, and that's pretty much it. So yeah,
okay.
but regardless, issue one was pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to picking up issue two. Now, there's like I said, there's a lot of neat covers, but the cover A is insane, so good. That's right.
Yeah, can't deny that. No,
Yeah,
for sure.
picking this one up, Spawn 2099. I know you're referring to the last one. Uni, for sure, you're picking up multiples. I know you are. Don't lie, bro. Don't lie.
I know.
Um,
Uni's a Spawn guy. I know that.
Yeah, and he's also saying that he's getting tired of Ghost Rider mashup. Feels like every week there's one, and that's exactly what Hyper was saying. But
Yeah.
yo, this one works. I'm just telling you, it's actually real cool. Don't forget, there's the Helverine that we just recently got to. There's a lot of cool things going on. But I feel you. I feel what you're saying. But this one works, bro. That's all I'm saying. All right. Besides that, there's also the 1 in 25 incentive, which I think
Mm.
looks awesome. It looks like Chia Pet doing Cody Rhodes, but um, besides the point, it's a really really nice cover. Now, Dolly's done some incredible covers. I think this one's gorgeous. Just want to put it out there.
Yeah, I like the composition on this one. It's very like there's not a lot going on, and I like the side profile thing that's going on with Ghost Rider. Yeah, it's definitely a cool cover for 1 in 25. Yeah, it's worthy of a ratio.
Yep. But all right, let's move on because I think this is a sneaky one, guys. Now, I hope if you had the opportunity to read on FOC the full description of this book, Spider Woman number 6, this main cover, possible in story introduction of characters featured on New Champions variants. That's right. So, like I said, if you read the description within on FOC for this book, it literally said that we will be seeing some of those characters. Now, we've seen a lot of these characters, example, Maystorm. We saw so many characters make their cover appearances on certain books, right?
Yeah.
For these new champions. So it looks like within this issue, we're going to be seeing some of those characters. Now, which ones? Who knows? I just think it might be worthy of a pickup for that reason alone. Am I reading Spider-Man? Spider-Woman? No, I'm not.
Yeah, and I would imagine like a title like Spider Woman is not a title that shops order heavily. So it's probably one of those books that if somehow, like you said, something flies under the radar, and if you want to wait till Wednesday to pick it up, you might be out of luck because, like I said, like this is just one of those titles I just don't see shops ordering a ton of copies of.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, there's also a ratio that's available for this. So
That's
we'll
gonna be
see.
even more scarce, I would think, for this
Well,
kind
here,
of series.
here it is because the 1 in 25 incentive is actually nice. Now, this is by Ricky Yagawa. Pretty neat cover, man. I think it's awesome. Well, to be honest with you, not my favorites, but
It
it's
has a
still
bit of a Rose Besh influence to it.
it does. That I will give you 100%.
Yeah.
Yo, Chef Harris is in the house, man. Chef, how's it going, brother? Appreciate you coming to swing by and show some love to both myself and Hyper. Chef always crushing it. I haven't been seeing many cooking posts, bro. What's going on? I want to see more food. Bring me more food, man.
Yeah, listen, Chef, I'm coming back to IG soon, so you gotta bring back those cooking posts again.
But yeah, man. So back to Spider Woman 6. I'm just saying, guys, putting the info out there in case you missed it within the description of the book might be worthy of a pickup. Now,
Mhm.
Giant Size Hulk number 1. This is the main cover. First appearance of Patchwork Jack. Guys, these giant size books lately have been having a lot of first appearances. So far, I gotta say the Fantastic Four one is probably the one you want to look out for. I think that character is probably going to be sticking around post the giant size stuff. So I imagine most of these characters will, but I I can't tell you guys pick this up because this is going to be a huge character. That I cannot confirm, but worthy to note that Lefteros is pointing this out, and of course you have also got the 1 in 25
Mm,
incentive of giant size Hulk number 1. I think Azrar did a great job with this. Pretty
yeah,
neat cover, man.
I'm just wondering, these giant size issues, I'm assuming there's a giant size price tag that's attached to them.
Not too far off. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around 7.99.
Yeah, so a shop getting a 1 in 25 of that, yeah, it's gonna hit them pretty bad.
Yep, yep, 100%. But Just putting it out there. And yes, both the giant size have been interesting. So the Fantastic Four one, I gave it a read, and I really think some cool things unfolded within that issue. So yeah, all right. Enough giant size Hulk. We're going to talk Roxanne presents Thor #1. This is the main cover. Now, possible first appearance of Chad Hammer, aka Roxanne Thor. Ali Ewing's behind this one. Roxanne Thor.
I'm not feeling this Greg Land cover though. I'm gonna be honest.
No, what I am feeling is this one right here, man. The
This now
Guidon
see, yeah,
cover. Yeah.
yeah. This now see this I can get behind. It's too bad it's a 1 in 50, unfortunately.
No,
But
there is a trade of this one available at
oh,
full
okay,
price as well.
okay.
So just gonna put it out there. If you guys are speculating on Roxanne, Thor, or just a Thor fan, I'm totally picking it up for the read.
Hmm.
I'm going for this cover in the trade because all
I don't
day,
blame you.
baby.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous, yeah. But all right, moving on from this, we've got okay. Timeout, guys. Timeout. Timeout.
What the
I
hell is this?
hold up. I am not the biggest Momoko fan, and I know that some people feel a certain way about later printings when it comes to these books, especially Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, one thing I want to point out, this third printing featuring all new cover art by Peach Momoko, of course, we're getting May Parker. There's no incentive tied to this book. Now, what drives certain books? Well, especially on later prints, it's those incentives. Right now, I'm looking at certain books. We'll take Ultimate Spider-Man 1, the third print, right? We had that Pacelli cover
Mm,
for the cover A, and then you had the 1 in 25. What did everybody do, including myself? I chased the 1 in
yeah.
25, boosted my orders, ordered 25 copies or whatever it was to get the 1 in 25. So what happens to the Pacelli book? Well, the Pacelli book ain't gonna hold on the secondary market. You can't even give those away for $4 right now. I'm being honest with you. But Ultimate Spider-Man 2, the third printing Momoko, especially featuring Peter's daughter, I think this is a good pickup. That's just my take, simply because there's no incentive attached to it. We'll see how many people order this up, but it's a great cover. I'm not a Momoko fan, but I think she's been doing some great work as of late. I think this is an awesome cover.
Love for Comics kind of took the words out of my mouth. Like before, like if I didn't read the trade dress and all that, like because Momoko was more tied to the Ultimate X-Men, I honestly thought this was a reprint of an Ultimate X-Men issue. Yeah, I was actually curious who that character is, but you're saying it's Peter's daughter. So okay, so it makes sense. Yeah, it's a cutesy cover. I mean, no harm in that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're probably right. I mean, people won't be upping their orders because there's no incentive to actually up their orders for this issue.
Yeah.
Although, didn't issue two? Correct me if I'm wrong. Issue two is already sold like not the same uptick as issue one, but it is kind of
It got a little bit of an uptick, and we're also gonna have now the 1 in 25 coming out this week, if I'm
okay.
not mistaken, for the second print.
Second print,
So
okay.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, it did see a little bit of an uptick. Now, realistically, if you want to talk issue 2, that's pretty much the first full appearance of Peter Parker within the Spider-Man role, and if you want to
Hmm.
say as Spider-Man within this run, whatever it may be, because yeah, we haven't seen him as Spider-Man anywhere else, right? Ultimate Invasion, he wasn't really Spider-Man. You saw what happened to him. So it is a good book. I think a lot of people are probably overlooking it. But of course, Ultimate Spider-Man 1 definitely getting all the love. Now, back to this, I just think it's a good pickup simply because no incentive attached. Now we'll talk some other books, but before we do, Shop for Comics is in the house, man. My brother Shop always putting out some great work, man. Definitely go check out his Instagram. One of the coolest artists, man. I love
Yep.
his work. I love seeing his stuff, and he's always, putting up some wicked art for people of people within the community. So go support the guy. Go show him some love on Instagram. Shop for Comics, guys. And very interesting comments right here. Nothing but love, man. This one hits. This one hits because just back into the hobby and quit drinking and smoking and lottery, and it's a worse addiction than anything. That's right, man. Comics are definitely addicting, but props to you for getting through all of those, and y'all are very helpful. So appreciate you, man. Stick around because we have tons more to come. All right. I think we got everybody. Let's move on to the next. No, we
Did
didn't.
you mention Guy Forge?
No, we didn't. The Cousine is in the
Yeah.
house. You got to show some love to the Cousine. That's what Guy Forge, guys. Guy Forge is in the house. Appreciate you. Yes, St. Patrick was Italian. Just saying. This guy, I love it. But yeah,
What isn't it like Patrizio or something?
yeah. Guy Forge is slacking, bro. It's 2 weeks. I don't see any food in my DMs, but he's been sending me some awesome stuff, man. Some great reels, some awesome jokes. So appreciate you, Guy Forge. We gotta get him back on stream, bro. Guys, vote. Tell everybody. Tell Guy Forge in the comments. You want him here. You want him here. Let's go. Let's go. But all right, let's move forward because we've got something I want to talk about here, guys. Blood Hunt Red Band Edition #1. Now, Blood Hunt is on FOC. This is a highly anticipated event that's going to be taking place this year. The main cover is not exactly Red Band, right? The regular edition. This is the Red Band. Now, I want to drop some information here about this because it contains additional pages of material that are too explicit for the
Mm.
regular edition. So, Marvel dropping the Red Band, I'm pretty excited about that. Can't wait to see what kind of wildness is going to take place within the book. Are you picking up the Blood Hunt at all this year?
Man, I don't know, because the thing is, this Red Band thing actually piqued my curiosity, just because we never usually see Marvel. DC's kind of flirted more with with its Black Label, print and all that, but we haven't really seen Marvel skirt too much. I mean, I know that the Sabretooth War, they are kind of getting into the more gory, I guess, explicit side, but yeah, that Red Band kind of piqued my interest. Although, so the thing is, I did listen to the Comic Con podcast. They're talking about this whole event, and they said that apparently with the tie-ins, you're almost running over like $200 if you were to buy all the tie-ins. Apparently,
Yeah.
for this series.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There's a ton of tie-ins across multiple titles, whether it be Moon Knight, whether it be Venom, you name it. They're all tying into this big event. But of course, stick with the main, and then if you start to get curious, I know Marvel tends to do these things, like refer to this book for certain things or
Yeah.
whatever. But I just think the main story alone is worthy of picking up, right? So
Mm.
Blood Hunt is looking very promising. Now, what I wanted to give you guys a little information about right here. This is the 1 in 25 incentive. Now, if you're wondering exactly what it is homaging, well, it's actually Crime Suspense Stories, issue 22. Which issue is that? What does it look like? It looks like this. There you go.
Classic
Yeah, so
pre-code horror.
neat little homage, but one thing that's very important about this 1 in 25 incentive is that I was reading that apparently you cannot get this if you're ordering the regular covers. It's only if you are getting the explicit Red Band copy. So shops have to order, I guess, 25 copies of that in order to get this one. Because from what I've seen, they're not going to be giving this one away if you're ordering other ones. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but that's what I've seen on multiple sites. So these bloody variants that they're coming out with, I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. I'm hoping that future issues will also have red bands on them.
That's an interesting way of doing that ratio, because uh, I would hope that shops are aware of that stipulation and they're not thinking that they're gonna. I mean, they would be, because when they're placing the orders, yeah, it's. I mean, it makes sense because it's an explicit cover, so it makes sense that you're actually ordering the regular explicit to get the incentive explicit cover. So, and this is not an homage you see beaten to death. I think the only one I really recall is that Wolverine issue,
Yes,
many moons ago.
yes, yes. And another thing, though, I do want to say is that this particular ratio is already seeing a pretty price tag on the secondary market. So,
Pre-FOC, really?
yeah, pre FOC, man, those pre sales are going for like
That's
60
insane,
plus
considering you could
Canadian.
still place your orders.
Yep.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Exactly. Now, guys, one last one I want to bring up here, and no, it's not. I'm probably going to get shut down at some point, but Penthouse Comics. This is issue 2. The only reason why I think it's worthy of mentioning here, there's many nice covers. Of course, there's the ratios, the 1 in 10s, and so forth. Now to the left, you've got the Vecchio cover, but the one on the right is a limited to 500 photo cover. Now we saw how the issue #1 did for the 1 in 1,000, the 1 in 1,000,
More
right?
than 1,000. That's a damn high ratio for a penthouse.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But the 1 in 500 right here might do the exact same things. So keep an eye out for that one. 9.99 price tag. Who knows, man?
Wait, it's not one. It's limited to 500 though, right? Because that's what you're.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm saying 1 in 500, but sorry, there's only 500 copies that are going to
Okay,
be
yeah, yeah,
made.
yeah.
That means it's going to be allocated, right?
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. All right.
So I apologize for saying 1 in 500, but I meant there's 500 copies in existence. So try to get one locked in, and yeah, who knows? But all right, guys, those were the FOC picks of the week. Now, definitely support Left Arrows by following comicnation.us. Get yourself your FOC orders in with Comic Nation, who is already discounting the cover price by 15% off. And you can get yourself an additional 5% by using discount code Black Crown. And go check out an even more extended, detailed version of everything we talked about over on Cover Price, because yes, Lefteros has his articles there for New Comic Book Day, for FOC, and many other things. So go visit Cover Price, the best comic book price guide around. Websites right there. I don't need to tell you about Cover Price. You guys already know. You already know. But all right.
That wasn't that painful, actually.
No, it wasn't at
Uh,
all.
hmm.
But you know what is painful? We're going to have to make those people wait again for the giveaway, because, yes, we're going to do one more segment, baby. We're going to get into the market. The market stuff. I know you love talking market stuff.
Yep,
So
let's go.
are you ready?
This I'm ready for.
Let's go. Cover Price, CBSI, eBay, Go Collect, you name it. Checking out the lists that drop weekly. And of course, Key Collector. Shout out to Key Collector. I got to update the slide because they're not on this, so I will definitely do so. But if you've got a top 10, top 20, whatever list going, I'm checking it. So let's get into the first book. Now, Michael Baker's still not here, but Spawn #1, dude, look at this sale. A CGC 9.9 sold for $3,720 US, came in at number 5 on Cover Price, of course. First appearance of Spawn, Al Simmons. I checked the census. There's like 69 blue labels in a CGC 9.9 for this book.
Yeah, dude, and think about that. 69 in one of the more highly printed, you know, issues in the 90s, or actually in comics ever. Yeah, dude, it's a unicorn, that 9.9 grade. So look, 37.20 is a very steep price, but listen, I kind of get it just based on the rarity. Now, it's always a tricky subject when you deal with these grades like 9.9's and 10's, because there's always that question: if you were to crack and resubmit it, will you get a 9.9 again, right? That's always the question. So
Yeah.
it's one of those cases where if you have a 9.9 of a book, you may want to hold on to that slab and preserve it, because if that thing cracks and then you had to resubmit it to CGC, who's to say you're going to get a 9.9 again? So
Yeah,
it
exactly. And we're gonna get into some of that 9.9 and 10 talk, yes, because there are books graded 10s, guys. Surprising. But it was very interesting because CGC dropped a video, and we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, man, Spawn, dude, like, look, gear up. Even saying like 2 million copies of
that's
this
yeah.
book, yeah, in existence.
So
It's
not even a percent, like it's like less. I don't even know the decimal percent of this,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
it is a decimal, a very low decimal amount. But Uni saying I have 4 raws, maybe it's time to send it. Yeah, Uni, yo, send that in, man. Imagine you get a 9.9, bro, and you join that. You break the 69 number on the CGC census. It's all your fault, bro. All your fault. But but yeah, man, it's nuts, dude. 3,700 US dollars. That's not chump change, especially when it comes to the Canadian conversion. That's like a almost a full car
Fuck
payment.
yeah.
But yeah, man, no shocker here. Spawn, hands down, a favorite in of our generation, literally, bro. Like I don't care what anybody says. The Spawn love is insane, and I'm not saying this because Michael Baker's not here to say this in the comments, but dude, everyone's looking forward to the next project, right? Everybody wants to see Spawn back on the silver screen, so
Hmm.
we'll see, man.
But
But
Spawn's never gonna die. I mean, no matter how many ups and downs that series has, it's always gonna have its hardcore fan base that's gonna carry that series, in the future.
100%, man. And when you look, at the census and how many books of these were printed in a CGC 9.9, it's no surprise. No surprise.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get to the next book because we're going to talk Dragon Ball Z, man. Dragon Ball Z's got to nothing but love, of course, unfortunately, with the passing as of late. But Dragon Ball Z #1, first US appearance of Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Bulma, and Vegeta. CGC 9.8. $800 US. Came in at number 11 on cover price, number 4 on CBSI. Now, it's not the only Dragon Ball Z book that's been making some moves. We'll talk another one very shortly. But, dude, if I'm not mistaken, you have one of these, right?
No, I do not.
Oh, no, it's Pacino. It's
It's
Pacino.
Pacino. Our good friend Pacino has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised by this uptick, especially with the unfortunate passing of Mr. Toriyama, the creator of DBZ. So yeah, look, it's always the case where when a legend that created a comic passes away, generally his IP tends to have that uptick. Now, I will say this, that if you are a DBZ fan and you've been looking for this issue, obviously ride the wave and then wait for this to cool down, because I'll give you an example. I mean, this is not uh, an apples comparison, but remember when Chadwick Boseman passed away, that photo variant of Black
Yes.
Panther went up?
Yes.
That was like a 100+ issue raw copy. I remember, and even like a CGC 9.9 was going for $400 or $500. You
Yep.
look at that issue right now; it's cooled back down. I actually checked recently because I have a copy. It was probably selling for like $25.
Yep.
Again, not the same thing, because we're talking about an actor versus the creator of the franchise. But again, it's just a case of you know his death kind of brought some attention back into Dragon Ball Z. So I would say if you're a fan, just wait it out, and you could probably find it on a cheaper end.
Yep. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. It is a book that I do see every now and then, within the last couple of years that everybody does want, because Dragon Ball Z has a huge fan base, man. Again, something we grew up with as kids, especially us, right? But yeah, it is definitely getting some more attention at the moment. Now, TKO saying, did you check out McFarlane's interview? Some really cool stuff, especially with the MLB. Yeah, that was some cool stuff, man. I know the video's been going around a lot about the McFarlane interview, but he actually was asked, is Malibu Sun or is it Spawn One, the first appearance of Spawn? He
Oh
said Spawn
yes.
One, and everybody's like, "Yo, debate's over. That's it." So yeah, it was a cool interview, man. It was nice to see
Didn't
that.
someone also ask him about 299 versus 300, and he definitively said it was 299
Yep,
for
yep,
ASM? I mean for Venom. Sorry,
yep. But all right, man. Let's. Oh wait, we gotta say hi to Uncanny Swag. That's right, man. Spine Ticks in the house, brother. Yes,
my
appreciate.
bro,
Yeah, he
X-Men bro.
picked up some awesome ASM books, man. Check out the replay, guys. Check out Spine Ticks. But moving on, we've got Captain America 139. Now, first appearance of Layla Taylor. 8 CGC 9.8's on the census. All right, guys. So a CGC 9.8 just recently sold for $750. It was a cover price shaker. And Hyper and I, you were asking me just a bit before the show, like,
Yeah.
what's the point of Layla Taylor? Why do people care? Apparently, okay, because first off, love interest of Sam Wilson, right? Now, apparently, she's going to be within the next Captain America movie. That's rumors. People are speculating, but regardless of the fact, only 8.9’8 of this on the census, $750.
Yeah, look, if you were to buy it based on those numbers, it makes sense, I guess, 750. But if you were to pay that much based on the questionable appearance of a love interest,
Yeah,
I don't know. That seems like a risky reason to actually pick up a book of this price tag. But yeah, it's a dope. I like this dope Bronze Age cover. The whole Captain America's outfit versus the like,
yeah,
that whole.
please.
It's a definite winner in terms of IPO. And listen, you said 7.9’8’s?
There's 8 to 9 eighths on.
8.9’8’s. Sorry, 8.9’8’s. 750 is not a bad asking price when there's only 8 on the census. To be honest.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. AOA not owning a Captain America book? I am shocked. I'm like absolutely shocked. Come on. You're better than this. I guarantee you with the next sale we're gonna see in a 9.8 is gonna be AOA's purchase. But
We're gonna
all right.
probably see in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But
Check your eBay.
let's move on from Captain America because crazy number one. You're probably wondering what this is, right? Now, it's very much like Time Magazine, right? But
Yeah.
Marvel, I guess. Um, so a 1 in 25 ratio by Todd Knock, CGC 9.8, $350. This was a cover price shaker, clearly because of the hype that's going right now with, Wolverine, Deadpool, all that fun stuff. So people definitely, I think this is a cool pickup. It's because apparently Crazy has been around for many years now. Crazy
Hmm.
is not something I ever picked up, so I will not speak for it. But a CGC 9.8 selling at 350 US dollars, and of course this particular cover, no shock, right?
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this cover. Just because I've seen better Deadpool ratio incentive variants out there, and you're probably picking this up either you're a Deadpool fan or just because of the scarcity. I'm guessing because not a lot of shops were ordering them. I do remember this crazy number one coming to shops. I think a few years ago. I don't think a lot of shops hit that 1 in 25 ratio because I think it was also a premium price tag on that one shot itself. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's an all right cover. I would not. I would definitely not pay 350 for this just because if you're a Deadpool fan and if you're a Deadpool Wolverine fan, there's just better covers out there for that price tag. And I say that knowing that Todd Knock is a fellow Canadian.
yeah, and dude, a great artist. I absolutely
Yeah.
love his stuff. But all right, let's move on from Crazy number one because we've got another Dragon Ball Z book. Now, this is part five, issue number 9. Here's what's key for me on this one here is that it's written and drawn by Toriyama. So there's only 3 CGC 9.8s on census of this book. The CGC 9.8 sold for 750 US dollars, came in as a cover price shaker. This is a neat book to own, especially considering, right?
Yeah, my whole argument about that first Dragon Ball book that you said waited out, I don't know if you can apply to this book because of the scarcity of it. If there's only 3 in the census, chances are it's a whale at this point. Either you have a copy that you could submit to CGC to get that 9.8, or you're gonna have to wait for one of those 3 9.8s to pop up for sale. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is one of those books that if you're looking to find a cheaper copy of this, you might be waiting for a long time just because of the whole just based on the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly it, man. Of course, dude, having the creator of Dragon Ball and of
Yeah.
course, having him write the story and of course draw this book, I think this is a solid book to own within your collection. If you have one, shout out to you, congrats to you, because of course with his passing, this is one that I can only see continuing to grow in value. I don't think it'll ever drop below this. I don't think so. In my
And I will say this, a lot of times we talk about like not overpaying for stuff. Like if I was like a DBC fan, like let's say like I was like Pacino's, and this book, let's say, came to my peripheral, this would be one of those books I probably would not mind overpaying just because I know it's gonna like it doesn't it's gonna come few and far between. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, exactly. It's got a history behind it.
yeah,
But all right, let's move on from this one because we've got Marvel, the Year in Review, number 1, covered by Todd McFarlane. Now, I'm giving this the label of a cover price shaker, but I do want to put it out there that Michael Baker did let me know prior. So just like last week, we will share this one as a cover price shaker and a Baker shaker because the CGC 9.8 sold for 750 US dollars. Like I said, kind of like those Time magazines.
yeah, I dig this coverage, and I've never seen this in person. I don't think any of the shops I've been to I've ever seen it on the wall or in the
Nope.
back bin or anywhere. So just based on that alone, it makes that book pretty special. It's just one of those books that when you see it, just because you've never seen that cover, it already catches your eye.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole Time magazine, trade dress imprint just adds to it. So yeah, I'm noticing you have a lot of 750 price tags lately on your
Yeah.
shaker lists.
These
It's like
these
a
are the
theme.
Yeah, these are the sales that have been taking place. It's funny because when I was creating them and like double checking prices, I was like, wow, okay, so it
Yeah.
seems to be a theme. But this particular book, dude, like, I didn't read any of the Marvel year in reviews, but the 1989 for myself already is a selling point. It's the the year I was born. Spidey on it, Todd McFarlane. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. If I hope to come across this because yeah, it's totally piqued my interest.
Yeah. No, definitely.
But all right, let's move on from this one because we've got the Men in Black number 1. This is awesome, bro. Now, first appearance of Agent J, K, and Z. There's 8 CGC 9.8s on census. CGC 9.8 sold for 1,695 US dollars. Came in as a cover price shaker. Bro, who doesn't like Men in Black? Come on. Come on.
Dude, this is an example of when a movie or a TV show made the book and not the other way around. Usually you would think that the comic makes the in this case, if that Men in Black movie never existed, I don't think we would see the price tags on these books because I just don't think it'll get the same love.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, bro, this is exactly what I wanted to say, by the way.
yeah, and it's just and it's from a publisher we never heard of, Aircell. That sounds like a mattress company more than a comic book publishing company. Um, and I was talking to you about this in the chat, and I was mentioning how some of your slides, it's kind of funny because it kind of links back to some of my pickups for this week. So I actually have something to show.
Let's go.
So as BC mentioned, even though I've been off social media, I have still been on the grind picking up stuff at the LCS and all that. And lately I've been getting into trade paperbacks, out of print trade paperbacks, and I actually found this for $4
Oh,
at my LCS.
that's neat, man.
There's only one printing of this. It's actually there may have been reprints featuring Will Smith on the cover, like a photo variant, but this is the first printing of the Men in Black. It's the 3-issue series that obviously features the first appearance of the Men in Black. I know when I showed my coworker this, they thought it was Donald Trump as one of the Men in Black.
I was just gonna say that.
No, it's actually Agent K, apparently. So Agent K wasn't black. They were both the Men in Blacks were actually white. So this is actually a tough book to find. I think there's only one listed for over 100 on eBay, and Amazon was asking for like 100 GBP. This was in the discount section at my LCS, $4.
There you go, guys. The more you know, man, the more you know. So appreciate you sharing that knowledge because, yeah, man, of course, trade paperbacks definitely see some love as well, man, especially on the secondary market. So good to know about that one. But of course, back to the actual comic, dude. It is not easy to get this in a high grade, exactly what AOA said. So, and to even come across this, because I have never seen it in person, never once. And dude, we've been to cons, we've go to literally so many LCSs, been collecting for years. I have not once seen this in front of me. Never.
Yeah, Love for Comics. The publisher was Aerosol Comics. The actual trade paperback was done by Malibu Comics. So yeah, those are the publishers that actually did it.
There you go.
Oh so, yeah, it was Malibu Comics that did the trade paperback.
Yeah. Now, welcome back, Hyper from Dan De La Torre. Welcome back, Dan De La Torre, as well, because yes, you were missed in the chat. So happy to see you here. Dan De La Torre did his thing with Spine Ticks last night. The whole crew was rocking some ASMs, man. So I was happy.
And apparently he got a grail. He wouldn't tell us what it is, but apparently he's going to reveal a grail that he picked up.
Yeah, well, looking forward to seeing what that is. It's probably going to be revealed on the hunt. We'll see.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move on from Men in Black because we got X Factor 24. Dude, the second I sent you the slide, you were like, "Wow, did I sell mine way too low?" But
no, not this one, not this one. It's another book that you're gonna show that I sold mine way too low.
Oh, okay, sorry, because I remember talking X Factor 24, but this is actually a newsstand, and this is the origin and first appearance of Archangel. CGC 9.9 sold for $850 cover price shaker. Now, of course, we see this in direct copies for dirt cheap, right? Like,
yeah,
a couple bucks at most, like literally.
Look, I have a tough time wrapping my head around this one, just because I get it. It's a newsstand in a 9.8 in that era might be a tough grade to get. I think it's tough for me to even fathom this price range, just because, like you mentioned, we see so many copies of this book at most shows, shops. This is not a book that's very hard to find, and I'm sure there's a lot of direct editions in 9.8. So to have, just because I get it, the rarity, but I don't know, going to a newsstand paying $850, 9.8, it's hard for me to justify paying that much for this book in particular. It's wait, are you you're muted?
Sorry, I did it again. I did it last week. I'm doing it again. But I was gonna
say I thought I was going deaf. Oh my god.
You might be, but regardless of the fact, I was saying Archangel is a pretty neat character. Like there's nothing.
No argument there.
But of course, the newsstand having that extra premium now $850. Like I said, there's many direct copies. If you're a newsstand collector, I totally get it. I know that that's a whole nother level of collecting, but direct copies, dude. I've seen this book for like $10 Canadian, $15 Canadian.
Wait, hold on. Just regarding that whole first appearance of Archangel, isn't there a bit of so there's a bit of not controversy, but isn't there like
debate
on like what is considered his? I mean, it's definitely his first cover appearance, that's for sure. But in terms of his first appearance, isn't it like right before, like, I can't remember what issue. I think it's the issue right before this, X Factor 23.
So
That
here, I'll just show you very quickly because I was thinking the same thing, right? And then I was like, well, who can we trust? Well, I guess we'll trust CGC. So CGC showing origin and first appearance of Archangel. So I
interesting.
mean, yeah, that's where it lies, baby. But again, like I said, even when I have seen this book, 10 maximum I've seen in a high grade is like $20 Canadian.
Yeah.
I've always seen the label on its first appearance of Archangel, right? So I think
Okay.
this is the favorite to be the first appearance. So I guess it's pretty much the end of the debate, but very much like myself when it comes to ASM 299, 300. For me, I'm a 299 guy. It is what it is, but whatever, whatever. Anyways, let's say hi to some awesome people because my brother, infamous Jeb, is in the house, man. Jeb, the high energy, I can feel it even through the chat, man. Of course, Jeb, one of my favorite guys to hang out with. One of the most informative guys. Definitely
For
go
sure.
check him out over on Instagram. Always dropping some info, man. Great, great guy to get acquainted with because he's just awesome, man. Uni saying, "Damn, someone paid 850 for that." Yeah,
My
man.
thoughts exactly. Yeah.
Yep. A new Stand 98 sold in January for 365.
But see,
Wow.
that seems a bit more reasonable.
Yep.
365 I can kind of get behind.
Same, dude. The 850 is
Yeah.
a heavy price tag. I know it's a whole nother madness, but yeah, madness newsy or not, 850. Yeah, exactly. Yo, Ozzy's in the house. Ozzy, I actually have to hit you up in the DMs. I've totally forgot because I've been busy with my kid being sick all weekend, but I will get back to you for that ASM 100 and Uni saying,
Ooh.
bullshit. Exactly. But all right, let's move forward because we've got Savage Hulk #1. Now, guys, you're probably wondering what the fuck is going on over here. I thought the same thing. That was exactly my reaction. So this is the 75th anniversary, 1 in 75 ratio by Alex Ross. Now, to my knowledge, there's not many copies that exist out there in the wild. Now, cover price shaker this week, a raw near mint sold for 720 US dollars. That is a heavy price tag for sure.
Yeah, when you showed me the slide and I saw 720, I thought you made a typo. I thought you meant 98 720. I didn't realize it was a raw copy 720. Dude, look, first of all, no argument for me. This cover is a banger. I mean, but I'm also biased towards Alex Ross's covers in general.
Yeah,
But yeah, this like you mentioned, this is not a book that I don't think I've ever seen. I actually I didn't even know this book even existed until I saw it on Lords of the Long Box Shaker show like
yeah,
a few days ago. Sorry. But damn, 720 for a raw for a modern. Shit, you really must like your Alex Ross covers, or because I know that he did a couple of these 1 in 75 for other titles. I know he did one for a Spider-Man, and I think he may have even done one for um, Captain America, I think. But in commemoration of the 75th anniversary, I know that Alex Ross did this kind of ratio for multiple titles. But damn,
yeah,
that's not cheap.
yeah. Now, there's even like 1 in 300 ratios that exist for this, and it's like a sketch cover. But for some reason, this one's like commanding the coin. I'm not too sure what it is, but yeah, man, it's crazy. And one thing I want to just pull up from Cover Price. So shout out to Cover Price. But a near mint raw copy came to market and sold for a whopping $720, 500 more than the previous high sale for a no grade copy. It's also $300 higher than the all time high sale for a CGC 9.8 copy that sold back in 2018. So
So,
just to give you an idea.
so okay, you know what? Now that you brought that fact, it's a sale like this that kind of gives me skeptical hippo eyes when I see something like that. If you're telling me that the last sale was about $300 less than this, I'm starting to get a bit weary on the validity. Not saying that the sale might be legit or not. Just you got to ask yourself, how the hell did a book just go from $300 to like 720?
Yeah,
Just like that. It's and to your other point about the sketch variant, I'm gonna put it out there. I like Alex Ross, but I'm not a fan of his sketch
yeah,
variants. Some artists do better, like Ed McGuinness, Jim Lee. I love their sketch
yep,
variants,
Yep.
Alex Ross is better off doing color painted covers. I don't like his timeless sketch variants. Those I would never buy those for the 1 in 100 price tags.
Bro,
The painted ones is where where he shines.
I agree with you 1000% simply because, man, you remember all those timeless variants we got, right? Not too long ago.
Yeah,
A lot of those 1 in 100s, they didn't do it for me in the
no.
sketch, man. But when fully colored, it looked incredible. So I agree with you there. But we gotta shout out this awesome dude right here in the chat, man. Paul in the 619, our brother Paul, man. Nothing but love for Paul. Appreciate you. Yes, of course. Hyper is here, man. So he's back. Hyper's doing his thing, coming to hang out. Paperweight saying 100% hyper. It ain't adding up.
Yeah,
It's nuts, dude. This is a
it's an
big
outlier, I find. Yeah,
yeah, it's a big sale, man. Someone's trying to sell one on eBay for 2,300 Canadian right now. Derek, yo, appreciate you coming to hang out, man, and appreciate you dropping this info because that is big, man. That is big.
that's insane.
Yeah, man. Brian, 41 watching, only 26 likes. Smash, Hulk, smash the like button, guys. Do what you got to do. Appreciate all of you coming to hang out. TKO saying, I don't know anyone who bought those sketch timeless covers.
Well,
Yeah,
you
yo,
may want to look up at Phil's comment because there's
I'm
one
getting
person in
there.
the chat right there.
I'm getting there. I had a complete set of 1 in 100 timeless sketch variants and sold for a loss. Ouch.
That was a good transition, though.
I'm so sorry, Phil. Yeah, I bought them all. I love it, man. Yo, Phil is such a
That
good,
wasn't planned, by the way.
yeah, good dude. But all right, Nick's number 3, bro. Now, first appearance of X23, Laura Kinney, CGC 9.9 sold for $1,599 Canadian. Baker Shaker, of course, Michael Baker, nothing but love. But dude, one thing I want to mention here, of course, the love for Nick's 3 is, it looks like it's back simply
Mm,
because speculation, right? We're seeing
right.
speculation now. By no means did this book drop off significantly, right? There were still sales taking place around the $1,200 mark, the $1,100 mark. But you know what, man? I don't care what anybody says. Even if you're picking up 1,100 to 1,600, man, that's $500. You could get yourself another nice key for that chunk of change. So it's an impressive sale in my opinion, and of course, because of everything going on with Deadpool and the rumors of Laura Kinney being within the movie, it looks like the love is back.
Yeah, this is I know Chia Pet's aware of this. I spoke to him at I think at one of the local cons, and he knows that I'm actually this book is on my radar. I'm kind of on like I already picked up like my Hulk 181. I generally am now picking up like books that are kind of related to the Wolverine mythos families because like I picked up Dakin's first appearance, Sabretooth first. This is a book that I still have to kind of chase for, and it's always that price tag that always kind of scares me. But I'm just waiting for that day where I kind of get a good deal on this book. But yeah, this is definitely a book on the radar for me.
Yeah. Phil saying that he posted a special video of all those timeless sketch variants on his channel. Guys, go subscribe to Phil, man. Show him some love, man. Click on his little icon right there and go subscribe because Phil's an awesome dude. But AOA saying, I seen a super high grade Nyx 3 raw 6 years ago for $50 and laughed. Now I cry. Yeah.
Oh man, you know
Yeah.
what's funny? I know a guy that I met on IG. He told me he found this book at a Value Village. Like the cover wasn't all that
Yeah.
great, but he like it like look, if you found it at a Value Village, he didn't exactly pay top dollars for this book.
Yep. Guys, I'm taking myself a nice little picture here because I see 44 of you guys. So I'm going to post that a little later tonight. Shout out to all of you coming to hang out tonight. But let's move on from Nyx because, yeah, dude, myself too, man. I've seen this book for cheap in my lifetime. What, not $50 cheap. I've seen it
No,
around the $100 mark when back in the day. And I was like,
really.
yeah, man, if I'm not mistaken, it was at one of our LCSs here in Laval.
How
Not
far back was
Watabede.
this?
Dude, we're talking years ago. Like years ago. I was still living with my parents, man. So
Okay, because I
um
probably wasn't in the hobby then at that point.
yeah, man. But I remember having seen it for like about $100, and I was like, Jesus, that's absolutely absurd, right? And here I am now looking at that. So I understand AOA is paying seeing it for $50.
Hindsight's always 2020 when it comes to this kind of stuff.
100%. But all right. Another interesting book, guys. Now this one's shout out to Michael Baker for bringing this to my attention because Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel #1. This is the first appearance of Blue Marvel, Adam Brashear. CGC 9.8 sold for $699 US. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, okay, $699. Is that impressive? Is it not? Dude, to be honest with you, that's quite a drop, right? Quite a drop.
Yeah, this wasn't this like a 2 grand book at one point?
Yeah, exactly that, man. You're looking at $2,000 Canadian on average, right?
Yeah.
So now seeing it at 699 US, it's taking a fall, man. Now, I know there was a lot of speculation on this character making his way to the MCU. Dude, would you write it off the table? Who knows, man? Who
You
knows,
know
right?
what? Credit to this book, even at $700, the fact that we don't really have much of news of anything of this character coming to the MCU, the fact that it's still holding at that price tag, I mean, it's a testament. It's just kind of weird because I always kind of felt the same way about Moon Knight before, like Moon Knight had its cult following. That book was that Werewolf by Night 32 was always an expensive book, even before there was any hint of him coming to the MCU. I'm
Yeah,
not saying that Blue Marvel is the same tier as Moon Knight, but it's like a cult following that kind of brings this, and obviously the low print count definitely doesn't hurt the value.
yeah, of course. And that the low print stuff alone definitely makes you want to find this out in the wild. Now,
Yeah.
like I said, it's taken quite a significant drop, in my opinion. $2,000 now looking at 699. Would you consider this a good time to buy, or would you hold off even more?
Oh, that's a tough one. Just because, yeah, like Chia mentioned, it's a very scarce book, so it's not like you have many copies to kind of choose from, really. So
Yep.
not at the same level of scarcity as those DBZ books, but it's definitely man, it's always hard for me to wrap my head around paying that much, even if it is graded. Like
For a
to be
modern
on,
book.
to be honest, on like for a modern book, if it was me, I would probably gamble on a raw copy, much
Yes.
cheaper, and then hope for that 9.8, and then give it to Armin, and then see if he can do his magic.
Yes, and then the guy you're talking about for doing his magic is this beautiful man right here. Gear up
There you go.
260, guys. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, definitely try. I mean, finding a raw copy is probably very difficult, man.
Yeah.
Especially given that the book is so scarce. But to see where it's at right now in a CGC 9.8, again, I don't think now is the worst time to pick it up if you're
Mm.
speculating on the character. Don't get me wrong. If the character hits, it hits, right? But the scarcity alone is like we said, and it's a neat book to own. Now, I feel the same way when it comes to some of these modern books, like 699 price tag on a CGC 9.8. I say this about Adam, right? About Blue Marvel, but if example Edge of Spider Verse 2 was at 699, I could assure you I'm picking it up, right?
Yeah, yeah, but also that Edge of Spider-Verse is a different beast altogether because you're talking
Of
about a
course.
Spider-Verse character, and that in itself, that there's already a big rabbit fan base in that
Yes, but
particular
I'm just
genre.
saying the theory of having a hard time spending
Oh,
on
okay,
a
gotcha, gotcha.
modern
Yeah,
book.
yeah, yeah.
I think that value that changes depending on the character. But
No, no, I hear you on that. Yeah,
yeah. But anyways, interesting to see this at where it's at. So shout out to Michael Baker. Now another book I want to talk about is Back to the Future #1. Yo, how cool is this? Premiere
no,
issue of the 4-part series. Baker Shaker, CGC 9.8 sold for $320 US. Marty McFly, baby, talk to me.
this is the book that's gonna haunt me in my sleep.
Yep. Tell me.
I sold this way too cheap, raw. Um, whoever bought this from me definitely got a good deal.
They probably sold it for $320 US.
I'm not kidding. It probably, if I recall, it was a high grade copy as well. I don't know if it's a 9.8 high grade, but yeah, it definitely was. And to be honest, I don't really regret a lot of the books I sell just because I figure I could always find this back. This is a book I haven't been able to find back again. So
Yeah.
this is one of those ones that got away. So yeah, it's whatever. You win some, you lose some. So
Yep.
whoever got this book got a good steal.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Now, Harvey Comics, not Marvel Comics, not DC Comics, Harvey Comics, publishing this one. I think it's a neat book, man. I
Yeah.
did again another thing that we all grew up with, Back to the Future. I think anybody knows what Back to the Future is. Maybe not my kids yet. I'll teach them. I promise you, I'll teach them. But yeah, man, it's a neat book. CGC 9.8 selling for $320 US. I swear, man, when Baker sent me it, I was like, oh, really? Really? Like, now I want one. I don't have one. but my story's not as bad as yours. So sorry, Hyper.
Listen. There's always going to be some L's in this hobby, so it is
Yo,
what it is.
Derek is spot on, man. Another book that the MCU hurt values, She-Hulk #1, 9.8 prices are now at 2018 prices. There you go.
Don't forget Vengeance. Vengeance #1. That also took a
Oh
nosedive.
yeah, that was oof. I'd only buy this Back to the Future book if I found it in the wild for cheap.
Fair.
100%.
Yeah, fair.
I wouldn't be going at it for 320 US dollars. These are the books you have to try and find in the dollar bins. Yeah, man, this is what makes hunting fun, man, when it comes to
Yeah,
going out
like
to your shops and
I'll tell you the way I even came across this book was I bought a 90s lot from a guy in Montreal, and he just happened to have this book in that lot. So it was a case where he had like this and Lethal Protector one. He had like a bunch of these 90s #1. So this was in that lot.
TKO wins. He just TKO'd you, bro. He TKO'd you. You needed the
That's
Lord.
a very fitting comment. That's probably like the comment of the night. Yeah.
Yep, he just TKO'd you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that. TKO, man. Stay within the chat every week and just TKO people.
That
But all right. Satana #16. Now, dude, this cover by Adam Hughes, and it's actually the final issue of this. CGC 9.8 sold 510 US dollars. It is a Baker Shaker, and you were talking to me about this particular book as well.
yeah, so for every loss, there's always a win.
There you go.
So, little spoiler, I know that we're gonna do our collection video after, but I will mention this just because you have this in your slides. In my collection, it was mainly a DC indie and some Marvel stuff sprinkled in. It had the full Zatanna run, and Armin can check it when I bring him the copy, but I have a feeling my copy can probably hit a 9.8. So to see this go for 510, and look, I actually looked up the CGC census on this.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea of why this price is justifiable, there's about 400 copies graded on the census. There's only 90 in a 9.8.
Wild.
So that's like less than a quarter
Yeah.
of the blue label, which is a pretty low percentage for a modern book.
Yeah. That's it. Insane.
Yeah.
But of course, you said 9.8 selling for 510 US dollars. It's a gorgeous Adam Hughes cover. So that alone. See, look, AOA saying I have seen 6.0
Yeah.
raws selling for $100.
This is actually my second copy. I actually found the first one in a lot that I paid $30 for.
There you go. See,
Yes.
win some, lose some. You're clearly
Exactly.
winning. Now, guys, two more books I want to talk about. This one right here was
Ooh.
on Key Collector's Hot 10 runners up. Sailor Moon #1. Now, this is the San Diego 1998 exclusive Club Tokyo Pop. CGC 9.0 sold for 900 US dollars. Now, I've seen some of these, like this particular cover in pink with the moon and the star being in silver. Guys, Sailor Moon, again, another staple of my childhood. Yes, I remember so many people loving Sailor Moon. I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed it, man. I watched it as a kid. I was kind of like confused by certain things, but I mean, Tuxedo Mask, who remembers that? Now, Sailor Moon, exactly, love for comics, does have a following,
Yeah.
and seeing this 9.0 sell for 900 US dollars, pretty impressive sale, man. Like I said, I've seen it in the flip, like reverse colors where you have the pink
Okay.
with silver. So this one, I'm not too sure what the print run is on this one. I tried finding some information and I couldn't find any. But again, to see this price tag, damn.
I mean, if it's a SDCC exclusive, I'm assuming, again, this is just a ballpark. I'm assuming it's got to be no more than 3,000 at least, right?
Yeah,
Copies, I would think, because generally those exclusives they usually cap the print run. Dude, I mean, yeah, look, 1998. So and from the looks of it is like a foilish cover, so I can imagine
yep,
not a lot of these are not. Oh, sorry, this is a 9.0. Shit, 9.0 900.
not a 9.8, bro. This is a 9.0 and at 900 US
Wow.
dollars.
Okay, wow. Okay, that goes to show you that this is clearly a book that's very hard to find in high grade. If people are willing to pay 900 for a 9.0 copy, damn, that's that kind of changes the conversation a bit. Yeah, I guess my only knock on this, I kind of wish there was a bit more going for this
Yeah.
on the cover. It's
Yeah,
just I don't know. It's just basically it's like one of those situations like if I bought this book, right, and I bring it home, I have a feeling that that night I'll be like, fuck, I just
Yep.
spent $900 on a star and a crescent moon.
Yep. But Gear Up, that makes more sense to me simply because I don't even imagine San Diego Comic Con in '98 having so many going. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like
Yeah, that's
3,000.
why I said 3,000 because I know that's like the modern count. But yeah, Gear Up is probably right. There's the print count is probably less in the earlier days of SDCC.
Yep. But last book I want to talk about, and simply because we're not going to talk about it within the hot topics portion, but we'll talk about it here. The Crow
Mm.
#1, first solo series of The Crow, CGC 9.2, sold for $1,420.79 Canadian, came in as key collectors trending 20. Now, of course, it's trending simply because, well, we got the trailer. I don't know how you felt about that. To me, look, it looks like a decent action vengeance movie, but that is not it didn't feel like The Crow to me, man. It just did not feel it at all.
That's the issue whenever you try to reboot a franchise on a franchise that you didn't feel needed to be rebooted in the first place. Like I love Brandon Lee's first Crow movie. So whenever you have something that's near and dear in the
No.
nostalgic feels, you're gonna always look at any reboot, even if it is a great reboot, in a different particular pair of lenses versus something that's a fresh IP.
Yeah.
So it already had that going against it, in my opinion. So I'll give it a chance. I mean, when the actual movie comes out, Bill Skarsgård is a good actor, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this book is always gonna be one of those iconic books that's uh I guess you call this Copper Age, probably this
Yeah.
era. Yeah, and that black cover is always a tough grade to get. So
It
this is
just
definitely a book that any Crow fan or any comic fan would probably be proud to own in their PC.
yeah. Um Guy Forge giving me the update of his supper. So yes, the grill is going, guys. The grill is going. He's got sausages
Damn.
on deck. He's killing it. But yeah, no, back to The Crow. Appreciate yo, guy. I love when you send me these things. Um the Crow trailer for myself again. I said it when we got the first glimpse with the photos. I was like, "What in the Machine Gun Kelly is this shit?" Like, it looks terrible. I did not appreciate the look, but I guess they're trying to, cater to, I guess, the young hip crew of today. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. No disrespect, man. I'm not bashing anybody at all. If that's what you're into and so forth. If you're a Machine Gun Kelly fan, by all, I don't mind his music. I think it's pretty good. But it just, when it comes to the actual comics, when it comes to the Crow, when it comes to Brandon Lee, I said it. I've seen every movie they tried to make after the Brandon Lee one was complete shit. It was
Ooh,
terrible,
was
man.
it City of Angels was one of them, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
absolute trash, bro. I
Yeah.
could not get behind any of them. So no, I personally, I'm going into this. I'm gonna try to keep a clear mind.
Mhm.
I will give it a watch simply because I love the Crow,
Yeah.
but I don't have faith. Don't have faith. But the market has faith because CGC 92,
Yeah.
$1,420. Not bad. Not bad.
That's nothing to sneeze at, for
Yep.
sure.
But all right, hype. We've made it through the first two. Now we've got some of the hot topics. The fate of the giveaway, sir, is in your hands.
In my hands.
Before or after the hot topics? Go.
You know what? We've had a lot of patient people. Let's do it before the hot topics.
Here we go, baby. The wheel is here. Guys, get ready. It is giveaway time. That's right. So, if you commented on the new comic book day video from last week, your name has been entered in this giveaway. So, like I said, I'm going to be giving away a nice little bundle of new comic book day books that have come out within recent weeks. So, whoever wins this spin of the wheel is going to win that bundle. Now, once you win, make sure to DM me on Instagram. Let me know, send me your shipping address, and I will happily ship it to you. All right, sir. Time for the drum roll. And
Bada, bada,
guys,
bada, bada, bada.
it's a big one. Lots of names on here. So we're going to spin the wheel in 3, 2, 1. Let's see who wins it. This thing's been spinning, I swear to God, since like 2 p.m. today. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Spidey Hunter 4270. So
Is that the same Spidey Hunter on IG, or is that a different Spidey Hunter?
I believe it's the same one, but bro, come on, don't take the spotlight. He won.
You win, Ali.
You know I had to bust that out, man. Good
Congrats,
times.
man. Congrats.
Yep. So Spidey Hunter, hit me up on Instagram, and I will happily ship this over to you once you give me your shipping address. And guys, I also want to remind you, 500 subscribers. I told you I will give away at random. No big giveaway shows. You will just keep winning stuff at random. So stick around because tons of fun stuff to come. Speaking fun stuff, the last portion of the show, sir. Hot topics. So for the last time, I'm going to ask you, sir. You ready?
I'm ready.
There you go. You're not ready. You're ready.
Wait.
All right.
Before we continue, I see Chia is back in the chat, so I gotta bust this out. I know he's a character that you played on the hunt, but BC,
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. I want to talk about some of the hot topics this week, sir. That's right. We're going to talk about some of the big stuff, now some interesting stuff. Now, the week started off pretty interesting to begin with because X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo fired weeks before the premiere. That's right. He was let go. Now, you heard about this, right?
I did.
Again, a few things here because I look, call it what it is, man. The guy, people are saying different things here. I find it strange because apparently he's already written season 2,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like season 1 is literally about to drop in 3 days from now.
Mm-hmm.
They let go of him. I'm seeing things tied to maybe his views on certain things. He had an OnlyFans. He's gay. Who cares? I don't think any of that should be tying into any of what he's got going on with Marvel because Marvel knew about his OnlyFans. Now his OnlyFans, to my knowledge, I'm no subscriber, so guys, I cannot speak. But everything I have read is that it's all content related, nothing like out of the ordinary. So again, I don't know what's going on, but it's I've been trying to find some information. It's hush hush, man. It's Marvel's not said anything. He's not said anything. I know he posted some like subliminal thing over on his X or Twitter, whatever it's called. But yeah, it's just strange to me. I think in order for something to like this to take place, he must have done something off. Maybe it was even a previous tweet from years ago, right? We've seen people get canceled for stuff
Yeah.
that they may have said years ago or whatever. Not canceled, but you know what I mean? Like they get canned, right? Or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's this is one of those things that right now all we're going to be doing is speculating because a lot of the facts haven't come out yet. It is a bit the timing of this is kind of peculiar because the first episode is going to be launching in March 20th, and he literally got fired just a few weeks ago. So um yeah, and I also read the thing about his OnlyFans. Apparently, to my knowledge, it was an explicit page, so I don't know. I don't think that's really the issue, but I think I was actually thinking the same thing that Love for Comics mentioned. Like, there's probably some and I can never is it NDNA non-disclosure
Yeah,
agreements that were probably signed that kind of prevented him from saying more than he wanted to. But you know how these things go. Usually, something gets slip through the cracks, and there's going to be loose slips that are going to come out in the coming weeks. I would think that might shed some light into this, but at this point, look, Disney knows that from a PR standpoint that this would kind of cause some conversation, just the timing of it. So despite that they still fired him, clearly there is a reason that it happened. I know a couple of people in the comments mentioned that he was a bit of an issue to deal with backstage and all that. Possibly, but again, right now it's all hearsay. So it's one of those cases where it's just anyone's guess at this point.
yeah,
Probably more facts and truth will come out, either from his party or through third parties
yeah,
that would corroborate some of these speculations.
yeah. Chip had saying this guy was supposedly a monster to work with, so who knows? Yes, non-disclosure agreement, of course. maybe his writing sucks. Well, apparently, like Giapet's saying, is they're still praising his second season work. So I don't think it's maybe the writing thing. In fact, I don't know if you guys all had the opportunity to see the little preview of what's to come. It was about a minute or so, but in that exchange, the fight scenes, everything looked awesome, man. And the exchanges were very 90s corny one-liners, which I think is awesome, especially considering that's what we grew up with, watching X-Men 97 taking place immediately after. Now, I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, Derek kind of busted me because I was actually thinking the same thing when you showed me the slides. When I saw that picture, I'm like, wait, why is he showing me Sinbad? Like, when did Sinbad get on the news? So it's funny how Derek kind of said that, thought the same thing. Like, yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing, that he actually does look like Sinbad.
Yep.
So,
But anyways, all right, let's move on from this. Seth
mm,
Rogen's produced adaptation of 8 Billion Genies for Amazon MGM
yeah.
Studios. This was big because secondary market, well, a lot of copies were starting to sell, right? And Seth Rogen behind this, I think that's genius. Well, look, Seth Rogen is hit or miss on some things, right? Some of his movies and so forth can be hit or miss. The ones that stand out, of course, are always the hilarious ones that I can name 100 of them.
But he didn't produce those, did he?
Well, I think he had some stuff behind that, right? Like
Okay.
I'm thinking Knocked Up or something. Maybe he was behind that one. But what was the other one there with Zac Efron, The Neighbors?
Neighbors or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like Seth Rogen, right? So I look forward to seeing how his view on this 8 billion genies, because 8 billion genies is a fun concept. I thought it was a great read. It was really fun to read. Some cool covers too. Now I'll be honest, I immediately sold it at the height. I sold it at the height.
Did
Yep.
you? Were you one of the guys that got the Mario 3
No,
homage?
I did not. The 8 billion genies, and shout out to Bird City Comics
Okay.
because Bird City crushed it. Trish Forstner was the one on that cover, probably.
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
remember.
I don't want to say it's her best cover because it is incredible, but
Yeah.
on the secondary market, probably her most successful. Trish Forstner killed it on that cover. Bird City killed it on that cover. But Seth Rogen behind this, I'm pretty pumped, man. Now, like I said, a lot of copies hit the secondary market,
Yeah.
but will it hold? Will it take place? Who knows, right? We've seen many things get optioned, and now Seth Rogen is set to produce it, and then anything can happen along the way. So the news is there, the sales are happening. I sold every single copy prior, like once it was at its height.
Yeah, and yeah, I was also aware how the secondary market was kind of, you had an uptick with these copies in light of the news. It's just, I don't know. I like, if you're a newer collector, I get it, but if you're more of a seasoned collector, I would like to think that you kind of know the trend, how these things go. News happens about adaptation or option, you're gonna get that spike. But between filming, there's still time for filming. You um what is it, marketing and all that, so there's still a ways to go before this thing actually sees
Yeah, the light of day.
the light of day. So again, just like I was mentioning about the Dragon Ball Z book, if you're looking for a copy of 8 billion genies, now's not the best time to pick it up. Wait until other news kind of diverts people's attentions away before you pick this up right now.
Yeah. DB, first time I see you here, but I love Vivi. We will talk about Vivi in just a bit. But yeah, didn't Seth Rogen back Preacher 2? Yeah, I believe so. I
Oh
believe.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. So, and yeah.
Yeah, and Ozzy saying I still have a few copies of the error issue with Siggy's. Yeah, that's
Mm.
cool. That's cool, man. I'm curious to know which signatures. But all right, moving on from this, Venom 3 will be called Venom The Last Dance, and it will be released on October 25th, 2024. So we've got confirmation on the title. Now, again, I have no faith in Sony. I say this almost every week, but The Last Dance, I think for me stands for this is it. I think this is they're done with all of this afterwards. So I hope that's the case. I would love to see more of Venom within the actual MCU. And we did get that drip of the symbiote within the MCU timeline. So we'll see, but pretty interesting to see this.
Listen, after watching Let There Be Carnage, I think this movie should be called Venom: The Last Chance. Um, it's how the okay, like I don't know if I'm in the minority of this. I actually like the first Venom movie. I think I made it known in previous shows. The first movie was, again, it's not the Venom that I know and I read, but as a movie, I appreciated it. How the hell did the second movie have a shorter runtime, but it felt longer than the first movie? So I really hope this turns things around for the franchise. And yeah, The Last Dance, it makes me think that this is it. This is the trilogy, I guess. And whatever comes after this, it will be Venom in the MCU. I'm guessing, given the teaser that we got at the end of Let There Be Carnage, where we see Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we saw him at the end credits. So this could be one of those lead-in movies to him being introduced into the MCU. So
Yeah, love for comics. I'm not too sure if Infamous Jeb is still here, but one thing he does say often is that he just pretends this is an entirely different thing. Like we're
yeah,
just getting Venom on its own, and he just embraces it on that manner, which I totally respect. I could understand, but in my opinion, I hate it. Now, let's get into the more fun stuff because this is an on again, off again thing. Right now, you're teasing me, guys. You are teasing me when you tell me that Marvel Studios execs confirm Nova project in development. I say it almost every week whenever there's news about Nova, or anytime there is news about Nova. I look forward to this significantly within the MCU.
yeah,
I think if played by the right character, by the right actor, can definitely be a big staple within the cosmic stuff when it comes to the MCU. Especially, I talk about Annihilation often because it's probably one of my favorites. Um, Events to ever take place. I really enjoyed Annihilation, especially cosmic wise. Annihilus is a dude. The first appearance of Annihilus is I gotta say, man, and even in those like 5.0, 6.0s, dude, I saw 5.0 sell for 110 Canadian dollars.
it dropped. It dropped. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the first appearance of Annihilus. It is the birth of Franklin Richards,
Hmm.
but that's where it's at, man. So I imagine, if we get a Nihilist, we get Nova, dude. Some of those things might start moving. So you might want to keep an eye out. But Nova in the MCU, yes, please, man. I cannot stress it enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that you're saying that it's the Marvel Studios exec that are confirming it, that holds a bit more weight than some person on Reddit, saying that Nova's in development. So, that confirmation has a bit more weight to it. So at least we can hang our hope that there is something now. As we know in Marvel, development doesn't mean it's gonna come very soon,
Yeah,
i.e., Blade. So, um, who knows what development mean? Development could mean for several years. So I,
yeah.
I wouldn't hold my breath to see Nova like in the near
Anytime
future.
soon. But
Yeah,
I've said it before, and it's exactly what Ozzy's saying. Feel like they should have introduced Nova in Guardians, man. And I really thought we would have got him by
it would have been a
at least,
perfect intro.
yeah,
Yeah,
at least Guardians of the Galaxy 3, man.
yeah,
The Peter Quill and Richard Rider connection within comics is just, dude, it's you need that on the big screen. I'd love to see that. Now,
yeah.
I saw Xandar within Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I thought, oh, okay, Nova's near, but we're nowhere near Nova, not for some time. So we will see. BC, you'll be old and gray like me before Nova appears on the big screen. Well, hopefully. Well, I mean, the grays are already kicking in, man. So you might not you might not be wrong. That's right, man. Dick Rider fan, 100%. But let's move forward. Live action Teen Titans movie officially in development at DC Studios. Now, this is awesome to hear because so many reasons. Now, set to be penned by Supergirl movie writer Anna Noguera. Dude, Teen Titans, we've gotten Teen Titans in live action before, right? We have
Yeah.
seen it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But please do this right. That's all I ask. Teen Titans, especially Nightwing. I need Nightwing within the DC universe to really stand out, man. Because Nightwing, dude, probably one of my favorite DC characters. I'm not even lying.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I enjoyed the Titans series. I still have to finish the series finale. I still haven't seen that yet, but from what I saw so far, it shows that DC, you know, IP can produce good quality television and movies if done correct. So, look, I don't know much about the writer Anna Noguera, so I can't really speak on her credentials.
Yeah.
So, but I do have hope for this franchise because we've seen this IP done pretty well on the television side of things. So yeah, this is something I'm looking forward to. It's just that again, I always get skeptical when DC's at the helm, just because of not so much on the creative team, just on the powers that be in DC that kind of make the final decisions on these projects. So that's
Yeah,
where my concerns lie. Um, but yeah, it'll be curious to see the development of this franchise.
for sure, man. But I'm excited, regardless. Dan saying I would, however, buy DC Presents 26. Titans are on their way. Yeah, for sure, man. But all right, let's get into some of the big
Mm,
topics for tonight, guys, because pretty interesting stuff. I don't know if you guys saw this over on CGC's YouTube account. You can go watch the full video, but CGC releases a video explaining 9.9’s and 10’s. Obviously, they were going to do this because that 9.9 and 10 pre-screen being available. I gotta say, first and foremost, look, the video itself, you have Sean Caffrey, who I've actually, to be honest with you, I've never heard of, from CGC, vice president. He's breaking down. He receives a box straight from the printer,
yeah,
like sent over to him. Literally opens it and sets apart the books. Right. So he's got his stacks. Now he goes through them, and he's pointing out what the graders look at. Right. Which is nice to see. Right. Some transparency there on how they're grading these books. I kind of felt like it was a little inconsistent. I don't know if you got the same vibe,
I
because
did, I did.
yeah, they're showing certain things that might or might not affect the grades and this and that. Now, here's one thing I want to point out, okay? He does this again straight from the printer, and you can see the pile by the end of it. There's like very little, almost, I think there's like one or just a bit more than one tens on that pile. The 9.9’s, very small pile. At the end of the video, once he does the full breakdown of what they're looking at, the graders and so forth, he says that he received 400 copies plus of this particular book. It was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Return #1. Now you see the 9.9 and you see the 10. Again, straight from the printer, man. This got off the printer and went straight there. The book is cardstock, right? That is a cardstock book. It is not your typical fucking Star Wars, Street Fighter.
There we
Regular.
go.
Yeah, there
Show
you
that
go.
proud. Show that proud. Don't just fling that around.
That wasn't even done on purpose. I know you're the biggest Street Fighter fan, but it is not just a regular book that you're going to find on the shelf, right? Which is what we're going to get graded, right? We're finding those
Yeah,
ones. Cardstock, 400 plus books, 300 plus of them being 9.8's, 70 of them being 9.9's, seven of them, seven hit 10. Now, again, cardstocks. These are not your regular paper books. And the details behind the grading process, you felt the same thing, right?
yeah. For first off, to just kind of piggyback off of your comment, I'd like to see those numbers if we were to get like a 400 batch copy of a Marvel book, with those wavy papers to see how many 9.9's and 10's we got on that sample size. Okay, now I don't know, maybe I missed this part of the video, and maybe you could answer or someone in the chat. Where is this case coming from that's unopened case? Is it coming from the actual Diamond distributor directly to CGC, or is it coming from a vendor? And if it's coming from Diamond, what is it? Sort of opens up a bit of a can of worms. So what, Diamond is giving CGC books to grade? So then who becomes the what do you call it,
The
the
actual,
vendor?
yeah.
Is it Diamond that sell? Like, I'm not aware of Diamond selling 9.8
So
slab.
look, I don't know. Look, we cannot speak on if they did this as, hey, maybe they reached out to Diamond and said, can you send me 400 books of
Oh, just for this video, you
so and
mean?
such, just so we can do this video and break it down. Maybe
Yeah.
they did that, right? Who knows? I won't accuse Diamond for doing shady stuff. I'm not gonna start accusing people.
No, it's more of a question. I was just curious that the whereabouts of this case. That's why I was just kind of curious
But
about it.
again, I wouldn't write it off, right? Because we've seen so much shady stuff as of late within, some of the employees and so forth. But I just found it interesting how you get an entire case of like 400 plus comics, 300 plus hitting 9.8's. There's no mention of what hit 9.6's. I don't know. But 9.9's, 70 of them, and 7 hitting 10's. And again, I'm going to put emphasis on the fact that these are card stocks. I would have loved to see this video done with a regular standard comic, not a card stock. Let's see how it works. And this is coming straight from the presser. This is, sorry, from the printer. It's
Yeah,
not coming from myself who picked it up on my LCS, right?
right.
So to see only 7 hit 10's in a card stock, I ain't doing no fucking 9.9, 10 pre-screen. I'm being honest with you, bro.
And and then also thanks Europe. I know Cliff's mentioned could be from Boom, but Europe did kind of clear up how apparently CGC does do 9.8 copies through Diamonds. So okay, so that could be a reason. Yeah, okay. So going back to the video, in terms of inconsistency, I don't know about you. I don't know, maybe if it's my eyes deceiving me, but some of those 9.9 copies kind of look worse than some of my 9.8 copies in terms of the corners.
Yep.
It's it was almost like he was saying one thing, but then the visual image didn't match what he was saying. He was talking about how minimal white spots, but then when he's going through that pile, I'm like, wait a minute, this they don't. Some of them actually have a bit more white than I would have expected on a 9.9
Yeah.
or a 10.0. So it's a bit inconsistent. Now, I will say this: I will give CGC some kudos for at least giving us some
Transparency.
concrete um criterias on what defines it. Because for the longest time, like if you go to CGC's website and then you look at the grading tiers, some of their terms are very arbitrary. If you look at like the difference between a 9.9, 9.8, 9.6, they use terms like moderate,
Yep.
insignificant. What is insignificant? What is moderate? What is, they use these terms that's open to interpretation. So it's
Yep.
nice that at least we're getting videos showing, okay, this is what we're looking for. Now, what I would like CGC to do is start showing us videos of lower grades, like what's in between a 9.8 and a 9.6, and give us
Yeah.
visual. Because I think when you start doing videos like that, it gives them more accountability. Because right now, a lot of people when they got a 9.6, they think, oh shit, this could have been a 9.8 or vice versa. Because again, it's going by the grading scale that you see right now. It's open to interpretation just by the jargon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will give them kudos for at least giving us some visual representation, even though those copies looked a bit inconsistent to what he was saying.
Yeah. Now, Derek, yes, exactly. These were not graded 10. They were selected as the best of the bunch. I'd love to see them scramble them and see him or another grader pick the same 9.9's, 10's. I
Yeah.
bet they'd be different. That is what I mean. Okay. He alone, this is my opinion, guys. Everybody, I'm sure everyone has their own opinion. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, right? But what I'm saying is that, as you said, some of them, even in the video, when you see he stacked them, it seems like those certain piles. Well, you saw some things that seemed a little inconsistent, right, with the process. Am I to believe that this guy is picking 7 10's and the next guy is going to pick 4? The next guy might pick 12. That's always been my problem with the grading process as a whole. Now, seeing this, my only points, my takeaway, we got a nice video here, which I do appreciate. I'm not saying I don't appreciate the video, and by no means am I trashing CGC. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is we got straight from the printer only 7 10's. We only got 79 9's out of 400 plus copies, he said. So that's not entirely a lot.
Yeah.
Now, that is again straight from printer and in a cardstock. So CGC, do it again. Let's take a regular standard comic from Marvel, especially Marvel's paper. I
Hmm.
would love to see how many actually hit a 10.0 in full transparency. Let's see. You do the grading process. I'm just curious.
Yeah. And the thing is, look, at the end of the day, whenever you have humans involved that require judgment calls, it's never going to be consistent. You're always going to have, inconsistency, like you mentioned, you could take three graders, line up the same books, and you're gonna get different results. It's gonna happen. Like in grading, in sports, like look, in UFC, you have like judges scoring around 10-8, and then some people
Yeah,
wondering, oh, that's a 10-9 round. It's when you have rule sets that are open to interpretation. That's what I'm saying. Like when you have, like when he mentioned like the white spots, that's at least that gives you a bit more concrete criteria to kind of go off of.
yeah,
Honestly, really, the only thing that probably, and I don't know if this will come, but I know people have been talking about AI grading. That's another topic altogether. But again, when it comes to human beings doing comic grading, you're gonna have. That's why people say if you get a 9.6, sometimes you might have to roll the dice and you might get a 9.8. It's just, now there are certain defects you can't get around, but you know, s- people that have been grading for a while sometimes figure, okay, look, this is a 9.8. I'm going to resubmit it again. It's just
yeah,
sometimes you get, it's a roll of the dice and you hit the lottery that day in
yeah.
terms of the grading pool.
Phil, is this an example of when AI could enforce consistency? I think so. Unfortunately, as much as I'm not a big fan of AI, I think that's the only way to be consistent at this point. Uh, Teaching 10, thank you for being here. Thank you. No, thanks is all to you, not to us. But that's my thoughts on this one. Phil saying if ever there was a time we need impartially, yeah, I think this is it. Um, if it's really that fuzzy, they need to get rid of 9.9 and 10. Yep, dude. The great again, Chiapet was on the ball when he says it's subjective, so is what it is. But pretty interesting video. I highly encourage everybody to go check it out. And again, I'm not bashing CGC. I just think it was interesting to see for something to go straight from the printer to that and still only hit these type of numbers. It doesn't give me faith as somebody who collects straight from my LCS where my books are on the shelf, right? I don't know. I highly don't think I'll be getting tens, but
But that's why I mentioned like that spawn number 199 that you showed. Like
yeah,
I guarantee you that if you resubmit that, more often than not, you probably might get a 9.8 than a 9.9.
exactly. But we're talking physical comics and grading, but let's get into this interesting topic right here. That's right, the future of comics, VV Comics. It was announced that Marvel and Veve have partnered up. Now, Veve being a platform that lots of people use as, collecting. You can collect comics, you can collect statues, and all that fun stuff. Now, it's interesting to see here, right? Some people, I guess you could call this NFTs, right? Um, some people are fans of this, some people are not. So I'm curious to see what the chat's going to say, and I'm curious to hear what you are going to say about this hyper because Marvel teaming with Vivi, I think this is a good business move, to be honest with you, especially how things are shifting to digital, right? Now, what Vivi is going to be giving the people the opportunity for here is not only can you collect, right, comics, you can read them digitally. Now,
Yep.
these have resale value on the secondary markets. So that is also another thing that's interesting for collectors where you have the option to buy the comic, let's say at $5.99, and then you have the option to take a chance at opening, a more scarce variant of of the book. So, example, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. You know how we recently got the physical copies and we had the black suit Spidey, we had like Ben Parker or whatever it was, we had
Yep.
tons of covers. There was the Stegman, there was the Scott Campbell. That's what it is the regular cover. You can buy it just to read for $5.99, or you can pay that little bit of a premium. I think it was like 850, we'll say, right? And you now have the option to get all those other variants. Now, yes,
Mhm.
Comic Aussie, I see the comment. They've been doing this for a while, but officially partnering and allowing people to read the books now changes the game, right? People can now collect their books. Let's say you were one of those guys that missed out on a certain, FOMO book. Let's talk Beneath the Trees, right? Right now, this is only Marvel's. It's only Vivi and Marvel. That's the collab we have going. But we'll say Beneath the Trees. You wanted to read it, you missed it, right? Now you have the opportunity to collect it within the Vivi application. Get yourself probably that scarce variant where you can resell on a secondary market because let's say it's a one of the more scarce covers. There's tiers, right? There's higher tiers. So you have the opportunity to do that. Now, I think this is a cool thing, but at the same time, people fear for the physical stuff, right? That was the debate, is what's going to happen to the physical stuff if we continue to move in this direction, because right now it's only Marvel and Vivi who have teamed up, but who's to say Vivi doesn't bring in DC, bring in Boom, bring in IDW, right? It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's going to be a case where other publishers are definitely like, if they're current with what's trending, they're obviously going to pay attention to how things are going with Vivi and Marvel. And no doubt, if this is a success, you will have other publishers following suit. And I don't think DC is going to be that far behind, to be honest, into getting into bed with Vivi. Now, look, as far as my opinion on this whole, um, what do you call it?
NFT Vivi stuff.
Yeah, I, I think it's a good thing because it has its purpose in the hobby. Like, look, for one thing, what's the one thing that a lot of collectors usually have an issue with when it comes to comics? It's space and volume.
Yeah.
This solves that issue immensely. Basically, you could basically rack up a collection digitally. It doesn't take up any real estate in your house. And for a lot of people, that's a lot of peace of mind. Like, I know it myself personally, I'm actually, you know this, like, I'm offloading books, not so much from a financial point, just because I kind of started needing to get some space back for myself,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
You,
so
you, you're starting a family. I get it.
yeah, so not yet, but this, so it definitely has its utility. So look, I appreciate this partnership, and it definitely has its usefulness. And now that you can actually read the books, because I think like what Ozzy was alluding to before, I think the issue was you could own a piece of the book, but it is
Steph. Yeah, you're saying.
you could own a piece of it, but I think what takes this up is you can actually read it. Now here's the thing, though. I don't think people should actually fear about comics going completely digital. And I know that people are going to bring up movies and video games as an example. Here's a fundamental difference between those three mediums. Yeah, like, especially if you're a PC gamer, and you have a Steam account, Epic, you'll notice that there's hardly any physical media for PC gaming. Now it's more on, and even consoles getting digital. Movies, Best Buy just announced that they're
Yep.
stopping distributing physical Blu-rays, I believe, right?
Yeah, so there's the Blu-ray stuff, but I also, just before you continue,
Yeah.
because I don't want you to lose your point. Remember
Yeah, yeah,
that.
no worries.
Cliff on the ball. The world is moving away from physical media, and it's what you're saying. And scanning books, yeah, dude. Websites like Read All Comics and stuff like that, Read All Comics online, they're obviously, you know, doing what they're doing. I think Vivi, that becomes an issue for them, right? The people who are reading online.
I think though, I think where Vivi's gonna try to basically get that um their little niche is the fact that whole limited edition aspect of it.
Yeah.
That aspect probably, it's like basically like, yeah, you can get fake Jordans, but who wants the bootleg when people want the real deal, right? So yeah, you could always get knockoffs. Knockoffs are always going to exist, but the genuine article always going to trump it. Same thing with comics. You could have restored comics, facsimiles.
Yeah.
It's always it's ironically Vivi's not, it's not an original. It's a digital print, but you know what I mean. Now, in terms of the whole fear of it going completely digital for comics, my point about how comics is different from those two mediums like video games and movies. The thing is, with movies and video games, the end user experience is the same whether you go physical or digital. You're playing on a screen with the controller or remote. That doesn't change whether you boot up the game as a disc or if you download it on the cloud. It's still the same experience. Comics, digitally and physically, it's two different end user experience. Comics, there's a tactile feeling of holding a comic, flipping the pages. For a lot of people, that actually is something that they actually cherish about comics, and
Yep.
being able to display it. You know, people like displaying their slabs and all that proudly. So this is why I think physical comics is always going to have a place. I don't think it's going to go away, just because, yeah, there's going to be the digital space is growing, but I just think that just the collectability aspect and just the different end user experience between physical and digital ways of reading comics. I just don't think physical comics are dying. And look, comics is probably one of the most oldest forms of media like consumed. Like we're talking about a media that's dating back to the 30s,
Yep.
20s.
Yep.
I just don't see it dying. Like
No,
I
exactly.
and I think they can both coexist, to be honest. You can still have people on the digital side and you can still have people on the physical side. I think they can both coexist.
Absolutely. And Derek, man, this is one of the main reasons why anything I do, whether it be playing video games, I buy physical copies because no one can take that away from me. Never, right? So same when it comes to comics, I always hold that. Whereas digital, absolutely anything can happen. And I always fear the whole digital stuff. Now, I'm not saying it is a bad thing. There are many other platforms that do that, right? There's Marvel Unlimited, right? Where you subscribe and you get the comics. Now, Marvel Unlimited, you have to wait, right? You have to wait. I believe it's like 3 months or something like that, where
Yeah,
the issues actually make their way. So
yeah.
some people are not fans of that, where they might shift now towards Vivi and be like, oh, okay, well, I could own it, the day it releases and just call it a day. Shoot for a variant, a chance at a variant, and maybe make some money on the secondary market.
Well, the thing is with Marvel Unlimited, I think you only have to wait 3 months if you just go with their monthly plan. But you could
Yes.
still, I think you could, I believe you could still buy the issue day one. You just have to buy the cover price of the physical, US price.
Sure, but now looking at the flip side here, you have something worth something in your collection, right? So
Right,
you
right, right.
have the capacity to resell. So I think it's
Yeah,
interesting. I'm curious to see where this goes. And like I said, I wonder if this opens the floodgates for more companies to join Vivi, or maybe any other platform, or we'll see IDW, Boom Studios, and so forth. So guys, if you're catching the replay, or I see some of your comments here in the chat, but let me know what you guys think, man, because I'm very curious to see what everybody here thinks of that. So, guys, that was a show. Hyper Combo Comics is back, guys. That's right. And not only is he back, I want to congratulate him on that, but I also want to congratulate him on being officially the longest episode. Episode 40 is the longest episode on the
because I'm
channel.
long-winded.
Yes, but it's good. You had a lot to say because you've been away for way too long. We missed you, but
Yeah,
I said I want to share an interesting fact. It's funny because you are one of the people I've shared the most streams with ever on YouTube, right?
I'm sorry.
But no, yeah, thank you. But one thing I want to share is that we've actually together been I've not been on other channels with anybody more than you. So there was the Comic Kingpins. You're talking Spinetix. You're talking Newbie. You're talking here. We can talk many other channels that we've collaborated on. The Hunt. So partner in crime. It goes without saying. So I appreciate you, coming to hang out, making your return, being this channel right here, and yeah, man, nothing but love for you, bro. Welcome back.
Yeah, look, and those I know that we have a Telegram chat with some of the guys locally, and we always bust each other in the chat. And I hope you guys know we do it because like this guy's like a brother to me, and I've considered him a true friend in the last several years that I've met him, and our friendship has grown. And honestly, like I said, man, I'm just truly happy for your success. And and I genuinely meant it when I came back to YouTube. I wanted to be on your channel as my first intro back on to social media. So thank you for actually allowing me to come back on. Now as far as things, the future outlook goes for my channel, like I mentioned earlier on, I am going to be going easing my way back into IG and YouTube. So I will be going back to putting out content, first of which BC and me will be collaborating, where I'm going to be unboxing my yeah, that I'm going to be unboxing my collection with the help of Black Crown Comics. So and yeah, man. And look, in terms of my time off, I know a couple of people DM me like thinking that there's something like because I've been off for a few months, and they thought there was. It wasn't anything personal. Honestly, it was a case like, look, uh, you know this. When you've done this like for a couple of years or some, so you sometimes need a few months just to kind of reset yourself. And I was in a point where like I was so deep into YouTube and IG that I was kind of neglecting certain things. One being like certain like my physical health and all that. So that was something that I kind of needed to kind of refocus and get back on track. And I will say I'm in a lot better. I'm in a lot of shit.
A lot of a
Twisted
better
tongue.
mind state, but his
I'm in a better place now physically now than I was 3 months ago. Like I made like basically it's just some things I kind of had to reset and recalibrate, and it's just one of those things that I think we all need to do once in a while, just to kind of take a step back and just get our priorities straight. So, but I'm back, and you're gonna be seeing content from me, love it or hate it.
There you go, man. So guys, go subscribe to Hyper Combo Comics' YouTube channel because yeah, he asked me live on stream and I will own up to it, man. Anytime you want to collaborate, I will be there. But now BC put you in a worse mindset. Yeah, exactly. I honestly, I'm not even gonna go with the 101 jokes right now because we're over 2 hours. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who was here in the chat. Again, go subscribe, show some love to Hyper Combo Comics, and don't forget, guys, I'll be dropping the new comic book day video from now to probably Tuesday morning. So keep an eye out for that. And as I said, we hit 500 subscribers. So shout out to everybody who's rocking with me through this entire journey. And of course, giveaways will be taking place at random. So you saw Dan Torre talking about a particular issue that is over at EGS. When that comes back, well, guys, we will have that conversation. So appreciate everybody. See you guys next week. Cliff on Comics. That's right. Cliff is going to be here next week. So nothing but good times. And of course, new comic book day. Go subscribe to this man. He's a good man sometimes. Like
Thank you.
really,
You as well.
sometimes. That's pretty much it. But all right. Good night, boys and
See you
girls.
guys.
All right. Peace.